still dangerous because you just lost to NIP. People need to fear you, and they don't fear you right now.
But for people to fear them, they also need to play with confidence, and we have not seen that so much in their games recently.
No, but it's one game. It's one game against an NIP where they couldn't do any preparation because they didn't know what was coming up, against an NIP that is playing way, way better than we expected. So I will still say Astralis, they must feel fairly comfortable. They're going to play with confidence. I agree with you. They have to, because the guys on your screen right here are not bad Counter-Strike players. We talked about them, sure. They maybe let a little bit of X factor, but there's a lot of solid players in that lineup. Valde in particular, with the score of 91 right there, he's a superstar.
He is a superstar, but he has to deliver like a superstar, and he's not really in the superstar role, which you continue to talk about with these guys.
I mean, he is by default. He is by his performance, right? He's right now the superstar. If I had to pick one, that would be Valde. But I agree with you. If you look at OG in general, you list the win conditions and the structure they should have to win, then Valde should not necessarily be the one topping the charts. Should be the man too, should be the E-side with the rifle as well. I'm just looking at, for example, entry kill attempts. Right now, it's Alexi doing the lion's share of the attempt entry kills, 30%. In Counter-Strike, usually, it's the AWP making that kind of difference. Where is Mantu? Mantu needs to be a bit more aggressive. So all we have for OG at the moment is Valde's performance, and that in itself is a little bit scary.
That is a little bit scary, but a man who's recently come back into the coaching role for their team is Rugger, and maybe he'll be able to give us a bit more information on what's going on with OG.
And speaking of that impact, is there anything particular that you've been working on with the team since coming back into it?
One of the things I knew we had to work on, like from speaking with the players after the games before the break, it was our communication. Like, kind of divided into two things. Like, one was the managing of freeze time. That's one of the things we're working on really hard right now. And also the second thing about like the communication during like the heat of the moment type of situation. So that's the two like main areas I knew we had to improve on, because when watching the games on the sidelines, I could see there were a lot of like miscommunication, confusion, like all these kind of stuff. And when you play a game like CS that's built on like small margins among the top teams, that's definitely a place we can improve.
And looking back on the game versus Big yesterday, of course, a very close loss for you guys. Did you feel like those issues were coming up and sort of causing you problems, or were there other factors at play in the matchup yesterday?
I think it was actually a really, really tight game. Again, like the small margins, like yesterday, it wasn't the communication. It was like maybe the two decisive rounds on each map. I think it was Keto that killed 3 or 4 in both of those. Like if we trade him, maybe the outcome is different, like looking back on yesterday. So like, I think it was a really good match, and it could have went either way. And I saw some of their reaction, like on player cams from the Big camp as well. Like they knew this was a tough match to win, and we like pushed them all the way. So unfortunately, we lost yesterday. Maybe we get them next time.
Now, communication is a key word, right, when it comes to Counter-Strike, like Rugger was pointing out there. And they cannot allow that frustration and mixed communication to come in. You can't win like that.
No, you have to be spot on all the time. You have to be reactive, proactive, and you have to enable your teammates. We can stand here and talk about communication for probably half an hour to pinpoint what makes good, what makes bad communication. But you got to be crisp, you got to be clear, and you got to make sure that your teammates are constantly aware of what's happening on the other side of the map, so your teammate can make the correct rotation, so your teammate can make the correct approach in the round. So if you don't have clear communication, you're going to lose 9 out of 10 games when you play at this level.
Well, the fundamentals for Astralis is something we've all touched on that have not looked as sharp as can be, but maybe Zonic can give us some more insight on all of this.
I know that Glaive also said, alongside improving the pistol rounds, T-sides were a real focus for you guys coming into this tournament. So can you tell us any kind of specific things you've been focusing on, how you've been working with the team to improve this specific element?
I think it has to be maybe integrating a little bit more of patience on the T side. I think that we, after we tried different new players and people going out and we changed the in-game leaders and so forth, I think that we kind of forgot to, some call it boring Counter-Strike, but that we kind of forgot to just maybe play the time a little bit more, wait for our opponents. I think it's crucial sometimes that you don't have to create the game yourself, but you can also wait for your opponents to push you and make them some mistakes that can give you these openings that you want, instead of you just pushing everywhere. I think that is something that we've been focusing on, and then obviously trading the way that we run when we go into sites, like the patterns that people have like an idea of which guy is checking what corner and where can they be and not be. I think that has also been something that we have been focusing on quite a bit. But yeah, definitely the thing about being a bit more patient wait for our opponents, especially in X on X situations.
And I'm surprised because we wouldn't really normally hear Astralis need to be told to be patient in these moments.
Yeah, and I think that's a key, James. I think it's really a key. You know, we had this meme with the boring game of Astralis because they were winning everything.
Yeah.
Astralis used to be the best team in the world to have an advantage and not let it go. They would play the timing against you. If they had the advantage, they wait for the rotation, they'll dry you out of utility, and they'll close the round. Right now, at this event, 61% of 5v4 converted on the T side. Only 61%. That's right back to what Zonic was saying. Sometimes we have to be patient. We don't always have to create the game. We don't always have to make the difference. When we have it, we can sit back. They used to be the best at doing that, and now they're being a little bit antsy. They're being impatient. They want to make the difference all the time. Go back to your boring Counter-Strike. You used to win. I'm okay for that. Some people might complain. I don't. Just win everything.
I wouldn't really call it boring Counter-Strike anyway,
ever.
right? It was Counter-Strike that was done almost to perfection with it. We're going to take a look at some tweets here from the Astralis guys, though, and see where that's at with it all. Because look at this. We've been talking about their lower bracket run. But the next question, who believes in the 100% pistol round win rate for the rest of the group stage? Do you believe in it, Pimp?
Not at all, because they are, as of right now, maybe one of the worst teams in the entire world that are playing their pistol rounds, right?
Yeah.
Coming into the global finals, they only won 6 out of 22 pistol rounds, which were by far the lowest in the tournament. That in itself is a problem, but if they were good at winning the second round, if they were good at breaking their opponents, then you could argue that, okay, it's fair enough you lose the majority of your pistol rounds. So far, with global finals and this tournament combined, they've only broken the opponents twice out of 18 second round buys up against losing the pistol round, which means if you're Astralis and you're losing your pistol round, you go down 0-3 more or less every single time. So you're playing from behind. That cannot happen. Yesterday, they won 2 pistols against NIP, so that was a good thing. But the one game where they won both pistols, they also lost the map. So it's simply not good enough for Astralis. That is a focus area, and they have to do better. Not only winning the pistols, but they have to be able to break their opponents and be a threat with the deagles and with the force buys.
Well, looking at this, though, right, if you compare at least to their opponent in this game, then they're on similar par.
Yeah, it's a fairly same pattern, and I think the philosophy behind both these teams is that our first gun round is good enough that we don't need to force buy into it. And honestly, for the longest time for Astralis, it made sense. I didn't really mind them not force buying because I knew that the first round with guns that they were going to bring out, they were going to win it anyway. So you accept to go 0-2 if you know you're going to go 2-1 and reset your opponent. But right now, they don't have that security anymore. So you can go down 0-3 or 4 or 5, and the first half just goes away.
But the number you had to look at right there was the 11.1. You're only winning the force buy against your opponents after losing the pistol 11% of the time. Compared to the other teams, that's bad, that's low. You're Astralis, right? You're the best team in the world. You see it right here on your screen again, 11.1%. That's simply not good enough. You can make plans for that. You can make strats with smokes, with flashes, with deagles, Tex 9, all that kind of stuff. That is an area you can work on. So that is a clear weak sign and a weak point for Astralis as of right now.
Well, we do have some happy moments that come out of Astralis, though, as we got a nice little mic'd up moment for you all.
Smoker. Har alt af.
Har du første dem her?
2 begge. Ja, der. Ja, tak. Pistolrunde.
Hold på bølgen, mand! Kom nu!
Why not? Why not?
Oh my God, Jesus. Whoa.
They maybe need some of that energy, though, Maniac. Maybe need a little bit of rise up in their life.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. You know, show a little bit of passion, show a bit of emotion. If that's going to compensate for a while, it's okay, but just not forever.
Can you say they popped the balloon? Is that an English sentence, right? That's what they're saying in Danish. They popped the balloon, right? Finally, they popped the balloon. They've been trying, and it doesn't make sense. Never mind, move on. It's a Danish
I guess
phrase.
they just pop the
Danish
balloon,
phrase.
I guess, you know.
They popped the balloon. They finally got a pistol round win. That's why they were so excited.
When did you pop your balloon?
All right, boys, let's get back on track. Let's get a veto. I don't want to know about popping anyone's
All right,
balloons
let's go.
anymore. Dirty-minded Maniac over here.
I'll go back to being serious. Mirage and Vertigo will be out of the picture in terms of veto, and that, for our friends of OG, is a problem because Mirage is a good map for them. Now, in terms of picks, I'll just put it out there. Inferno, Nuke, Dust 2 are maps both teams really like. And this is where we go back to Astralis' weak side of the maps currently. What do they do with the Nuke, the Inferno, and the Dust 2? I think if you're OG, you can pick the Inferno. Why not? Astralis have been, I want to say, weaker on the map, not weak. They go for Dust 2, which, again, is a decent win rate for Astralis, and now it becomes a question for Astralis. Do you go for Nuke? Because it's right for the taking. You can go for Nuke, but you've been shining away from Nuke recently. So here comes. Do you want to play with Bubsky? No. Again, they don't go for Nuke. That could have been a pick here. They go for Inferno, which is the most picked map for OG, 45% first pick.
But it's a clear sign. It's a clear sign. It's a clear sign they don't trust the Bobsky project as of right now. At least they don't trust their nuke with Bobsky on it. Maybe they've been practicing with Sipnix and nuke. Maybe that was a way of doing that and then trying to integrate Bobsky to another map. But as of right now, Astralis don't want to play nuke, and that's been the case also at the global finals. So we're not going to see Bobsky play, I think, in this one. OG is removing nuke, so that makes sense. And then for the third map, maybe, yeah.
Should be overpass.
I'd say so, but we saw Astralis yesterday. They actively choose train as the third deciding map.
So they
do it again. They do it again.
Okay. Mayda's confused.
I'm confused for a second. I thought they would go for overpass.
At global finals, they picked overpass twice, right?
Yeah, right. That's why I'm confused. That's why I'm confused.
And now, all of a sudden, they are going for train as a third deciding map. They did it against Astralis, against NIP yesterday as well. This must be a result of practice. Somebody has been practicing with Astralis, and who knows, maybe Bobsky's part of that.
Ooh. Oh, you're trying to say that Bobsky could be sliding into train?
Who knows?
Who knows? I'd like to see him on more maps. We've been saying it for a long time when it comes to all of this. But do we think it will even get to train in this, right? Because we know Astralis can play the opening 2 maps anyway.
Both teams can play the opening 2 maps. Let's be real now. I'll just say.
I hope they can play it, but I mean to the right caliber. Come on, Maniac.
Thank you, James. Of course, they can physically play the maps. Listen, I don't think it changes the narrative. The narrative is still, if Astralis show up to 100% of the level, that should be a 2-0. We cannot stand here and say that Astralis shouldn't be winning against OG when they're the best team in the world. They had a crazy finish in 2020. Granted, they were a little bit weak in the first few matches, but now it's over. The jitters are gone. They lost to NIP. I agree with Jacob. No preparation, surprised by the level. Okay, yada, yada, yada. Now you know what's happening. Your back's against the wall. React. You're the best team in the world.
If you're OG, though, what do you do in a scenario like this, right? Where you know you're going up against a team who is supposed to be better than you in every single way.
Well, you can't concede in Counter-Strike, so that's that option out of the way. So that's not going to happen here for OG.
Is that the option you'd take, Pimp?
Maybe, if I were them. But let's be honest, right? They have 2 win conditions. And for me, that's Valde. He has to have another strong performance. And then you got Mantu. If he can show up with the AWP, if he can be the difference maker on the server, defensively, more than offensively, because I agree with Matthew, he's not an aggressive style of Auber. He's not going to go for the opening duel. So that would have to be Issa. That would have to be Alexi B. I think Alexi B is a fantastic call. I think Issa is decent, but the difference makers within OG, the X-factor potential that doesn't really exist within OG, exists a little bit when it comes to Mantu and Valdes. So those 2 are the win conditions. If they play well, there's a chance. If they don't, it's over before it even begins.
Now, when it talks about over before it even begins, though, how much is this going to ride or die on these pistol rounds for Astralis that we keep mentioning? Because we saw how close OG can make games, but closing it out is another factor. But if they can get off to a strong start here...
Listen, I'll flip your question, and I'll tell you why this is a problem that we have even that discussion. At some point in time, it wasn't a discussion about Astralis whether or not they were winning the pistol round. You'd give them the map anyway, because they were that much better when both teams had full utility, full gun, and everything. They were that much better. Now it actually starts to be a talking point, because they're struggling a little bit, because they're sweating in some of these rounds, so you need suddenly to have a pistol round. It's the same with the conversation about the force buy. I agree with Jacob. 11% of second round being won is not enough. But there used to be a time where they were winning all the first gun rounds anyway, and they were resetting their opponents, they were building the money, and they had the control again. So this becomes a discussion now because the game plan in general is weaker. Yeah. So now you need to rely on winning the pistol rounds, which is part of Counter-Strike. It's all fair.
And it's also the other teams around them have got better across the scene in general. This game is about to get underway. It is an elimination match. Astralis are facing up against OG, and we are going to a real quick break. But when we come back, we get to see this madness unfold and see who will be able to take our opening map with Scrawny and Launders.
Oh, OG? Just kidding. You're lucky. You're lucky I like to talk about OG in the middle of my nap. OG are a roster here at Blast that we have to be looking out for because you know what? They always do well at Blast. Here's a guy who always picks them. Everybody calls him crazy, and then I get all the clouts, okay? Are you going to pick against OG at this tournament? Well, maybe it is a good idea. We really don't know. You know, Issa continues to play from Jordan with kind of high ping. The roster's waiting to get back to land. The roster's results have been somewhat inconsistent. Alexi B, we know, is a great IGL, and the pieces are there. They are so similar to their OG Dota team. It's really funny. This is a lovable roster with a lot of potential who have pulled off upsets in the past, and they do well at Blast events. Is that all we need to know? That's really the big question. but ultimately, Montu, we know, could have been top 20. Valda's here to play. This is a lineup who have nothing but potential and are very, very, very fun to watch.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Caster's Desk. I am Scrawny, this is Launders, and we're about to bring you guys OG versus Astralis. A very lopsided game, I think we can say, in terms of everybody's expectations, including the Betway odds. 1.18, 4.25.
You say everybody, I'm sitting right here.
Well, I know, but we don't like to normally include the clinically insane.
Okay, well, you should. Okay, because you're still a member of society, and that's me, and I am right here. And I picked OG to win this match. Maybe the craziest time that I've ever picked OG to win a match.
This one might be the stretch.
This might be the stretch.
Yeah.
What? We are here in the lower bracket, by the way.
Sure.
This could have been OG versus NIP, but instead, Astralis, they got taken down first. Big got taken out right after.
Wow.
Does that take some of the negative spotlight off Astralis? Maybe, Maybe Nip are really just that hot right now. I don't know. But when I was watching the game yesterday, I didn't see a full strength Astralis. I don't know about you.
I would mirror your sentiment.
And no, OG were not full strength either. Both can get better as the tournament continues forward. NBK definitely looked good. At least from OG's side. So I think we're going to see a different team, both from OG and Astralis today. I think that's for sure. I think they'll both be better today. How much better, I don't know.
Yeah, and even if OG are better, are they going to be good enough to take down Astralis?
Well, they actually, like they brought up on the desk, they actually avoided Nuke, which would have been the most sane map pick. Maybe because they wanted to avoid playing with Bubsky on Nuke, I don't know.
Ooh, corner position from Magis, good for 2 kills. He's got more bodies right up in front of him. He's got a little bit of helping hands here from Dupree. It seems OG have come to a quick end unless Valda can manage to finish off this here clutch. He's got 2 kills to his name already, needs to reload. Or does he? 12 shots could be enough. They're kind of lining up in front of him. And he's just peeking around these boxes. But sure enough, Xyp9x gets his angle, Xyp9x gets his kill, and Astralis, well, they get the pistol.
It took too long to kill Magisk in Hummer. He was just sitting there jumping around, reloading for this whole time. Look at this. Or, yeah, Magisk in the corner. And they unload an entire mag onto him. Teammates get flashed in the corner. Only one gets away at the end of the day. And Astralis had put together the hold versus the B exact. No plant. That's all the OG really wanted, but they don't grab that. The thing was, man, yesterday, OG, they had a good start on both maps.
That is true.
And we so quickly forgot about it because they lost both maps. And also because when the other team started coming back, which was big, they just started to look really, really good all of a sudden. But, like, at first, OG, they were firing off. Again, they had that streak. Dust 2 was one of the maps. They looked really good for a couple seconds. And it really did feel like fundamentals were the main issue. It really just felt like they just needed to dry run a little bit more.
Yeah.
Clean things up a little bit. The ideas are there as they usually are.
Also, I feel like, yesterday versus Big, we had far more star potential from the individual players of the Big clan. OG didn't really have that kind of, that real pop to them.
Yeah, just Valda.
Valda kind of in the second map brought that in, but I mean, like, Inferno, that was really a little, dare I say it, dull.
True.
But, Device, he is starting to find some impact here, using the Scout, taking down these pistols. I will agree with you, though. OG did look like they had those pieces, those strong starts at the beginning. It's not just you with your rose-tinted glasses. No, sir. OG could have what it takes, but right now they don't have anything. These measly pistols just get ripped apart. Astralis keep 4 alive.
Mm-hmm. And I think Pimp Maniac, we're talking about some of the pistol stats there on the desk. Pimp said basically was like 16 out of, I can't remember.
Oh, you said the number.
It was something to do with 16. There's a 4 in there and a 22. That's all I remember.
Carry
I don't remember
in
which order, but basically Astralis don't win the pistol often, and they also don't very often convert if they lose. So here's an outlier already. We've got the Astralis with the 2-0 start. They don't have to worry about not winning a pistol. And they've got OG on the back foot slightly. Okay, but OG, they win long. They win long at the cost of HP. You'll happily take this. Nobody watching the flank, though, which means they're going to be a bit nervous, a bit paranoid about, a mid-push.
Ooh, nice. Matu. A clean headshot to topple the front runner of the defense. Now it's up to Zipix. Playing alongside the ramp. He's got heads just popping out. Sprouts over top of the side of the ledge there. Unable to get more than one. Man advantage for OG. Strong positioning.
They're moving faster.
Yeah, it's good. They didn't stagnate. Like you said, right, that paranoia definitely could have sunk in. They didn't have any mid-control, but it clearly didn't. They knew what they wanted from the get-go. They took long, and the moment they had it, they followed through. Motion of the ocean, baby. It's OG on the board.
I think you almost never need 5 people to take one thing, so it can be a bit of a fail-safe to leave someone in the back. Leave someone in spawn buying guns for a couple extra seconds to watch your flank, just in case things really go that badly at long, or the fast flank comes in, and whatever. But OG, they just go up fast, and it was clearly their prerogative to just continue forward, not hold long control and wait, just keep on moving. So that was never really an issue. Astralis were never in a place to actually take over map control. And of course, a really great shot here from Montu.
Yes.
Device would have been in and out like a fast food burger if he had been given the opportunity. He would have gotten out of there.
The man had no chance. And this round, he will have a scout. Astralis showing us 2 of them here in round 4. Device. Yep. Ooh. I like it when you get dangerous. Jumps up Xbox. Goes peeking towards top mid. Sure enough, OG, they are crouching inwards, crawling towards him. And Mantu now on the receiving end of a nice clean shot.
I actually blinked. That was a flick, right?
I think so.
I actually blinked. Like, I looked at that, I was like, that was a flick. He flicked all the way. That was like the tiniest little part of a hat. That's a revenge frag here. Device on the Montu.
That one meant something.
But look at the rotation. It's into CT spawn. They're really anticipating a mid to B. So if OG, once again, if they move fast enough, they can punish this setup a little bit. It's not the worst situation in the world for Astralis, but it's the best case for OG who are down a player.
Yep.
And they're going.
It's 2 rounds now. Astralis not really disrupting the back line, just kind of letting their opponents play as they please.
Oh, this is a strong spot, man. They can get the plant in. They've got cat control. They don't have top mid control. That player's dead. But they're grouped up pretty well.
Saving grace as well as, Astralis don't have top mid control either. They're going to do the classic. 3 guys up from CT, 2 back from long. We've still got a flashbang, a smoke grenade here for Astralis to work with. Cat control still very under wraps, not a problem. They're just locking down this retake attempt on the forefront of it all. Alexi has 1 point of health left over.
Uh-oh.
Smoke grenade to cancel out the molly. That makes it a little bit more interesting, but that damage that just landed, that is huge. And Glaive, he's going to jump on top of this bomb. It's a 5-second stick. Valda's on the wrong side. Valda doesn't hit him in time.
He got him. Holy hell, he actually pulls that out. No way that just happened.
Believe it or not, it did.
Why do you have to swing off Cat if the bomb's planted there? Did he come all the way out to... Oof, that was a great shot. This was, also, you had a player rotate CT... Valda came through CT spawn. Alexi came all the way out.
All the way out.
If Valda could... If the player in CT spawn could get there in time, your Cat player should not be committing that hard. And also, maybe you don't need a CT player there.
Ooh, but Mantu's not going to get a break.
Oh, that was such a strong round.
Yeah.
It was actually such a strong round. They did 4v5-2 and got that close, and then still just bungled it right at the end.
Yikes. Glaive inside of the A site. Astralis goes beyond. And Glaive's going to get himself a second. Or, excuse me, Xyp9x has lent a helping hand for that first frag. Glaive's just looking so comfortable. Seemed as though he could have done it all, but bomb's been dropped out in the open. Not ideal. Alexi and Valda already low HP. Now it's just Alexi left over. So we've seen a couple of good moments from OG. One of them nets them a round win. The second very well could have been. But now there's going to be some economic problems. Now Astralis have that strong start.
Yeah, with economic problems comes the tilt and the, letting the fate sit in a little bit, right? Too much room to breathe for the winning team. So, but it'll test their resilience. I mean, they have it. They know they can. It's just about attitude, really, if they can just stay in the game. But, I mean, it's kind of like when Big was playing yesterday, even when the score was like 7-1, I could see that Big were still doing pretty well. So, I mean, I feel the same way about OG right now. I'm sure if they can kind of remind themselves of that, they will be in a decent spot. There was an opportunity.
Really got some nice mid-fights so far from Device.
Yeah, no kidding.
Whether he extends out onto Xbox with that scout the first time, now just, keeping eyes up with the AWP back-to-back rounds. I'd be curious to keep our eyes on him as this CT side unfolds.
They tether off of Issa, rotating all around through spawn while they just kind of keep eyes down mid. Grouping in the tunnels, and it's 3 players towards A. So once again, a good call in the sense just they're hitting the correct site at least. Smoke goes down on their face. They could still execute through this. Sometimes you turn from the smoke just because you're scared that the opponents know what you're doing. In reality, they're just practicing prophylaxis, throwing the smoke down because they're a little bit light on B. And this allows Glaive to free up, rotate over from mid.
Yeah, but Glaive sprays. Not really substantial damage. Now they're going to see them, though. Dupree sees a couple players clambering up over the box into what he could call as a cat hit, but in reality is OG doubling back. 30 seconds for them to make this play, and they're met by another smoke. But Alexi does get the mid kill.
Yeah, that's true.
So they were here once upon a time, and they decided not to hammer their heads against the B site. They could do it right now, and they kind of have to.
Well, yeah.
No other option.
They know the mid guy's dead, so they can actually wait out the smoke. They know there's 2 here.
Focus on the fights, and it's going to be Magisk first and foremost. His support's Dupree towards Carr on only 28 health, but Magisk very quickly gets a double and a 3rd kill. He nearly shuts it all down, but just in the nick of time, Mantu almost arrives. Stopped by Device through doors.
Hey, they needed the hold, and Astralis members came through. Great hold, right? Here it does get very scary when Alexi B gets the kill, and they pull the rotations in a round where they don't invest much, so it's a nice round from OG, but it's also just a great hold here on the side. I mean, what can you say? 3 kills from Magisk, sharp shooting, really stood his ground. That's a spot that he loves to play. And, yeah, so Astralis go up, but OG, clearly they're still thinking, they're still moving, and they're still working as a unit, which is, I think, the most refreshing thing, It's a little aloe vera on the eyes, watching OG move together on the T side. They're definitely on the same page.
Which I want to say is something we saw yesterday as well. That was one of the strengths. Whether or not it was every single round, maybe not.
Yeah, sure.
There were definitely moments of it. See if we get more or less of it this evening. Feels to me like Astralis are very content with just letting OG play their playbook. We haven't had much disruption. Other than that one round, Device throws the scout out middle over Xbox. kind of leaning back. Xyp9x is getting curious, though. He's feeling out long doors and does so with an opening kill, but also an opening death. Device dives back into the CT spawn. Nice challenge coming in from OG. Flash off the wall from Glaive. Nicely done. Keeps that man advantage nice and strong. But now there's that off in Montu, and it's Issa to help out. Swings wide from the A site. Now the bomb can come over, but can it cross? Ooh.
Well, that's a great question. I mean, it goes past Dupree's vision, but they don't know that he hasn't taken his eyes off it. So they'll try to go for this. They'll grab it. They can jump on the site, but now the molly interrupts things. They'll be forced to take this duel, and Magisk will be willing to hold down the spray. And suddenly there are no T players left, just Montu at long with the bomb down on site. Oh, it's just close calls, but they all just lean towards the way of Astralis.
And it feels like Montu trying to throw that bomb over. That's what kind of gives them that extra 3 seconds, 4 seconds for Astralis to get into position for that Molotov to hit. You know, Issa didn't want to extend to grab that bomb. He kind of stutter-stepped it, thinking it was being watched by Dupree and CT. But we saw it, not the case. Dupree none the wiser that it was just sitting in the open.
Yeah, they just had no choice at this point. This is yeah, I guess just not enough time to make up for this. I mean, they throw one of their smokes into the molly as NBK comes out long. It's a close situation. I mean, I don't know. It was actually pretty good, the trades. They saw Device go into CT spawn. They killed Glaive 1 for 1 in the pit. They didn't have quite enough time to do what they wanted to. If they could have waited out that molly, that would have been great. You know, I think Montu used one of the long smokes to put out the molly that Glaive threw at long. Oh, but now moving into B really quickly again.
Strong trade initially, and Dupree's here to stop them. Flash through doors and a peek from window. Ooh, quick redirection.
That was a comfy spot to be in. It's 3-on-4. We've all been here in the retake server.
They heard that damage too. Device actually going to take a couple shots after the fire, lick his feet.
Who would you rather be, T's or CTs?
CTs. Oh, that's both answers. T's. Because Mantu, well, he's got a headshot through the pillar of tunnel.
There's one more.
May not know about Glaive, exactly. Glaive could swing out, but he's actually going to use the grenade as his teammate dies. Xyp9x trade frags. Oh, nice shot from Mantu, and he's kind of low. Xyp9x knows, and he's can't able to do anything about it. Mantu, big play from him. 3 frags on it. Gets the first one in tunnels, dives around the corner. Yes, Glaive comes in eventually to kill the player on plat, but Mantu just using the corners of that cubby perfectly for both his second and third kills.
It's a great first shot, and yeah, he gets to avoid Glaive because Glaive telegraphs his push by throwing the flash in, thinking that Mantu saw him. It's kind of like that bomb situation from the last round, except this time it works against Astralis. So that's a way back in. It's the full-on B rush that works. I mean, the variety of play is there, and because they've kept it close, they reap the benefits. Astralis are down to just the Deagles on this round.
Should absolutely be OG. Oh, what the heck? OG.
Osu?
I'm making up letters, man. OG breaking
Still
through.
Okay.
It's my mind still trying to wrap itself around the fact that NiP have taken down Astralis and Big. You know, it's scrambled me from the inside out, man.
Yeah, well, their new logo looks like scrambled eggs, so.
Chopped up lettuce.
All the love. Hey, listen, the team doing well is making the logo look good. I swear.
They back away from the bomb plant. OG, nice and easy. No losses whatsoever on this one. Hell, they even get to keep the majority of grenades.
Nice and quick. I pretty much liked every single call that OG have made. Just a couple of small individual moments and like close situations played well by Astralis that have kept them ahead, but the game feels kind of even, I feel like. And now we've even got a critical round 1 and like a free kind of eco to come back into it. So still curious as to where this half will take us. And I think this just comes down to attitude and focus, really, because it feels like the game plan is better than it was yesterday.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, you definitely, you know, after a loss, you want to pick against the team. But after a loss, any self-respecting team is going to absolutely learn the most. The worst thing that can happen is your confidence goes down. But if you really feel like you know, sit there and have that hard conversation, go into the server, work on things, you should come out a better team for the next match. And I think the same can be said for Astralis too. They had a hard loss themselves. They've got things to work on. But Device is still fragging. Here he is, pushing off Cat Deagle into lower tunnels. The default was already slow, but now it's crawled to a halt.
Device maybe getting curious. Man, this server is silent.
Yeah.
OG.
Oh, are they actually going to find a push to punish?
Yep.
That's kind of a big way back in. They're going to kind of regret that, I feel like. But how the hell did the Vice get into lower? We had a player at green box.
Yeah. Oh, and it works wonderfully. He gets it back. It's almost like that false confidence of the T's taking tunnels back. Device slips in. Player top mid didn't catch him. Now it's Valda actually to die to Device. Device, he's making a play off of this retrieved M4. He's got 3 kills on the round. He's done everything for them. Xyp9x just needs to hide. And as he pops back up, Montu finds his headshot. Still now just that one-man advantage. Glaive's close enough to jump and spray if things want to get weird.
He loves jumping. He's definitely 100% joking.
Ooh, but here comes Device, 4 kills. Device 1 away from the ace. He sees it, and it's so damn close. Montu, 2 kills. Just diving back, trying to hide, trying to crouch, trying to keep himself in cover. As that bomb continues to tick, Device continues to miss. And he's got 5 bullets left over. Make that 4. Montu not wanting to die out to Magisk now. It's just into the 1v1, and Device is gonna take it.
The clutch and the 1v1, 10-second stick. It comes down to the wire, but he has enough time to grab it, right?
He's got it in the bag.
Wow. I mean,
ace.
It's a series of plays. I can't believe he snuck into lower. He got the spam kill across through the smoke.
Wow. A little bit of nonsense and a whole lot of skill.
Definitely, that's a good way to put it.
Yes.
Every kill critical. Wow, okay. That's one way to lose. And yeah, that's tough. Montu actually played that clutch really well. Stayed alive, just had to win that final duel, but it was also versus the final boss.
That was a good way. Oh, what? Xyp9x does him dirty. Poor Valda. He's now been killed through smoke back to back.
Wow, they lose long. They drop a player and take tons of damage on another 2. And now one of their only players who had full HP is out of the round as well. Down to Alexi, Montu, low HP. They lost all the map control. They tried to go and grab. And I guess we had Astralis watching the match from yesterday, seeing that lurk out towards mid after not getting long control. Something OG love to do.
That was a real consistency in their T side yesterday. NBK coming out here, clearing corners, falling back into the grenade execute. And I feel like more often than not, Big maybe not getting the kill initially, but sometimes disrupting them, throwing players downwards for the peak. Smoke pops for both teams. Bit of a gentleman's agreement. They understand exactly where OG are at. It's just a matter of stopping them. We'll see if Dupree can get another op kill. He just saw at least 2. Could have seen 3. We'll see. Dupree. Oh, it's a bit of a squeeze here. He's down to a quarter health. Magisk lends that helping hand. Crucial 2 kills to make sure that bomb never gets itself on site. And Mantu, yeah, he's going to have to take the evacuation route. A save of his AWP gives Astralis their 8th.
Yeah. It was just one of the default, basically. A Hail Mary at the end, and they made good progress to get to the window, but Dupree's final, information with the amount of time left over, there was no way to rotate round, make any other kind of kill, and this is just where the round begins and ends. Xyp9x specifically spraying to punish that spot, so Valda gets called out in the corner in front of the smoke, and the nades were really good at long as well. So basically, throughout the round, the Astralis just maintained a slightly better position.
Yep. Let OG walk into them. Kind of where we began this half. Long control out the gates. OG trying to clash yet again. It's Alexi on the forefront. Eats a bit of a flashbang, eats a bit of damage. Meanwhile, nothing in return versus the CTs.
Well, they're keeping the pressure high. I mean, it's definitely, yeah, it's situation they want to get into. Now, last time they went 5 long like this, they just committed up. This time they leave MBK to go back to the top of mid to make sure no pushes have come. We've got Astralis holding on for cat control, leaving Device lower. Mantu out-ops him, and this opens things up drastically. We've also got a situation where MBK can potentially lurk. If they have any trouble crossing the sight lines.
They take some damage. Glaive, that's audio given over, and half of his health, but he still finds Issa's head through smoke, and then he burns. Valda's gonna find that utility kill, and it's crucial. Keeps a man advantage here for OG, but a hard check on flank. That then turns all attention back to the bomb site and long. Magisk chucking the Molotov upwards. That's gonna have them forced into the corners. But it's not like Astralis are in a position to punish this. Dupree, he has that follow-up molly. He throws his towards Carr. Not gonna interrupt anybody. Alexi's incredibly low, but he's got a nice position here on the side of the smoke. High risk, high reward. And because of it, Astralis seems to concede, at least towards CT, but Xyp9x pushes inwards, and now they've got 2 kills. Bomb not planted for Montu at all. He can just jump on it, stick it all the way through. Dupree just needs to buy time, and that's it. That's all. 9 rounds for Astralis.
I actually pulled that off. I thought it as well, that they were actually going to turn away from that. Xyp9x coming up out towards Goose, winning that one-on-one duel, and the bomb is planted safe because they were worried about Glaive jumping up from spawn, maybe. But then they have one playing towards long. Maybe they should have just been closer to the action, especially considering they had MBK. Ah, man, I can't help but feel like there's maybe Montu doesn't need to be there in that post plant because they have MBK flanking Cat from top mid. They know that that flank's not coming in, and it's not planted for him. I don't know. That's slight mistakes again. It's just catching up with them. Another pretty good position once they get the bomb down after winning long control and taking a risk on going for it again. Got punished really hard the last round. But yeah, it's got to be... Oh, it's just... It's tough considering how close it's gotten. But if there's a team that's going to punish you when you make slight mistakes like that, it's going to be Astralis every day of the week, so...
Yep. And in those really kind of like high-octane clutch moments, you know it's going to be Xyp9x specifically. 3 players for the CTs now on 11 kills, but Issa, he just walks out tunnels. Magisk finds one with his back turned. Alexi burns from 100 to 28, but he doesn't have any help. It is all on Magisk right here, right now. And NBK, with ease, cuts him down. That's going to force the hands of the counter-terrorists. They're gone. A save called and a 4th round for the offensive OG.
Keeping it fresh. They move over to the B site this time around. Give it another shot. I mean, there's nothing too complex about what they did. Just a B hit with a little bit of pressure at mid. They catch the rotator. They get the opening kill. And Astralis are not really like connected that well on the B site.
Yeah,
you've got one
the window
far,
guy caught
because
off.
the smoke was down in the tunnel, so OG just took a risk and disrespected it and were rewarded. And maybe they put some pressure on mid so that Dupree would be opping mid from window again, so that they could push out for that kill. I don't know if that was the exact tactic there, if it was a bit of luck or a little bit of both, but it had his attention, so that would make sense.
And 1 man saves. So 4th T round. This is the walkout here from Issa. Jumps up. Yeah, Dupree sitting in no man's land.
Yeah.
And then this was the rotator getting caught as well. Glaive knew someone would be watching it. All the pressure on Magisk. If the counter-terrorists were going to win that round, it had to be him from Carr. And everybody's individually looking pretty crisp. You know, no drop shots.
Yeah, it's mostly been positional errors for sure. Yeah, the aim looks really good.
Mechanically, OG looks sound.
It's kind of just like in certain spots. Wait, why are you doing this in the retake or the post plant or whatever? But yeah, I see that too. Device clearing 180 AR in the exceptional range. Xyp9x right up there as well. He's definitely looking like he's back to form. And the half continues forward. What'll be the next strategy for OG? I mean, they clearly are at any point could just go for long control. I know delayed B hit straight up is on the cards. They haven't done full-on cat takes quite as much. And I think they're anticipating a full buy. I don't know if we have any kind of slow default. That seems like the only time that they're really doing that. Here they spread towards tunnel. B.
Ooh, wow, that hits.
Yeah, the bomb leans that way. Glaive gets some unconfirmed damage on Valda. He's pissed about it.
I feel like Valda's been the recipient of a lot of those cheesy shots. Flashbang come into B, bullets go back.
Oh, they weren't even prepared to commit off of that. Maybe they're looking for a fake. I don't know. The nades come in. They're going to hear some late pushes. Montu punches off Cat, so this opens things up. And the chaos ensues now as they get this kill. The rotations come out for the CTs, and options open back up for OG.
Yeah, good damage output, though, through middle.
Oh, that's something.
Oh, Dupree, you going to go for that? Come on, you got 2 players low, right in front of you.
Well, he knows they saw him cross, but he's come back to the door.
And now they're going to look to hammer into the B site. This pushes Magisk into a bit of an awkward spot. He's all the way back on plat, but he has as little HP as most of these players from OG.
And Dupree, here he is. He's flanking now.
If he just lines up a spam, it'd be massive. Dupree starts to walk in from behind Magisk. Oh, he pops up, takes down 1, 2. Dupree finds the flank, and now it's all on Alexi. Superb.
They made it feel like they didn't know what was going on. Meanwhile, Dupree had that play calculated entirely.
Down to a T.
Yeah, on the cross. And Matt just does so much from the back of the site, even though he's low, I believe, right?
Yep, exactly. 28 health or something like that. Really elusive gameplay from Magisk. And obviously the comms between him and Dupree had to be on point for that to unfold so cleanly. So, cool. Astralis just doing what they do, right? Impressive CS. Getting the most of all those mid-round moments. And in that case, ensuring that OG can't string rounds together. But OG will get the opening kill. And then poor Issa gets punished, found on the side of that long smoke. There's still 3 bodies from OG contesting long doors, and 2 defenders in position to stop them. We've got Alexi B getting device and opening up middle. Again, a position where Magisk is kind of on his own.
Oh my god.
No respect. Glaive just flanks all the way from long towards top mid, confirms that Alexi's still on the other side of doors, but Alexi winning that duel is pretty crucial.
He kind of went a little bit fast with that one, right? It's still 2-on-2. Lots of time left on the round. I mean, maybe OG are a bit frazzled. Like, well, what else just happened that we don't know about? We just left long, you know, all but 10 seconds ago. But now they established, they've kind of cut down on mid. They found a push. They know that they're still probably 1A, 1B. They just kind of don't exactly know where Dupree has gone to. But it's really the CTs who are maybe a bit more scared now.
So we get to finish with a 2v2. Final attempt for OG to grab that 5th round win on their T side. Magisk playing outside of the B site, ready. Oh, but he turns. And that could have been the worst bit of timing. In fact, he does still lose his head. And Dupree with half health has 2 players to take down. They scramble up towards window, and they both nearly slip in. Alexi actually caught off. Let's see it. Dupree retakes coming in quick. Molotovs exchanged in both of the entrances, and a duel that could unfold on the doorway. 4 health makes the difference, and maybe 5 rounds will too. Join us after the break as OG take to the defense.
I go take nap, yeah?
Let's go, man. See you on the other side.
I go take nap, yeah?
We're patient. No worries. Hey.
There were moments of glory for OG in that first half. They had their chances, but Astralis punished mistakes. And mistakes were certainly made. That's what got us to this opening 10-5 half.
That's well put. You know, I think Astralis, it was a half where they had flaws, but in unlikely situations, they put together some clutches. I think a lot of the onus for OG and their own mistakes, that they can take onus for a lot of the rounds that fell apart because of the weird post-plan situations. But yeah, as you said, it was just kind of it was good and bad at the same time, and I think the scoreline adequately represents kind of how well each team was playing.
Ambitious Glock shots from T-Spawn. Bomb curiously hanging out up there as well.
Yeah.
A little bit of a cap peek is going to cost Mantu. There's a second player here, though. It's Issa on mid. And Astralis, they're just going to cruise right by him. Frag was meant to meet them, and didn't. But Valda, oh, he's found himself in a nice little position here. Could have come in big with the multi-kill. But instead, it's traded by Dupree, who has both of the frags in the pistol for Astralis. Device combining with mid control puts Astralis in a great spot. It's all about this CT retake now. Everybody walking up from OG.
Ooh.
Issa kicking it off with a nice clean headshot. P250 at a distance. Looks to pop down range, but it doesn't seem to work. It's all on Magisk. He's got 2 players right ahead. They can barely stand at this point. 11 HP left between them, and yet that's all they need. OG, a 6th round win.
No one did a thing that round except Issa. I would just like to say, all of those shots, if he died on any one of those kills, it would have fallen completely apart from OG. I think that last exchange of bullets between, of blanks between Alexi and Magis said the most. But yeah, let's relive this. An insane shot on Dupree. He gets the pit frag as well as the refrag on Glaive, and eventually comes in after he puts the mag back into the gun. The final headshot on Magisk as well really just does everything.
The pretty quick sequence as well between the first kill on ramp, the pit player, and then that third frag on site.
It's a Twitch clip.
Yeah.
It fits in one.
Nice and condensed.
One short Twitch clip right there.
Really, you know, meets the attention span of the Zoomers.
Right. It's clip.
Opt's dead. Device just takes down Mantu with the
looked
scout.
like he got headshot, right?
Yeah, it
Like
did.
Crazy. Okay.
Issa sees a shadow as they try to clamber over the box.
Is Issa gonna save OG?
Man, maybe. Maybe.
Calling it a bit too soon. He's still negative, but the 4 kills, this one on the Antico.
No, you're being negative too.
Right? Yeah. No, I'm thinking Issa stocks are
on the rise.
They're like GameStop last week.
Okay. Glaive's just gonna lock in Alexi B. Sees the kneecap. Drops him to 40. Smoke grenade as well. This B defense is only in the form of NBK as well. So remember, if they get beyond this CT spawn, or if they can just even lock them into it, then we've got a straight up 3v1 to the favor of Astralis. But NBK had an incendiary, so he buys a little bit of time. This could buy enough time for OG to force the issue here in mid. But they've actually just moved that 4th player back towards tunnels. NBK swings with the MP9 for the first opening kill. And again, his teammates now get into position. It is a bloodbath. Had Glaive stuck around towards middle, then there's nobody to help NBK.
Yeah, also, Glaive running is why NBK was so prepared, because Alexi heard him from that CT. Of course, no one knew what was going on there in middle. There was no information visually, just the footsteps of Glaive getting out that tipped off Alexi. And then the communication did the rest. But I'm really liking how NBK is playing. Of course, I mean, we've got a series of players in the negative, but there's still some spots here where they look good. I feel like NBK yesterday definitely still looked pretty good. Like he was definitely doing his part. And I think you pointed out the stat that he was taking on a lot of the entry fragging.
Yeah.
In either the first or second duel of the round. And I feel like Issa has done his fair share as well, which is something that wasn't happening recently for whatever reason. So that's cool to see. OG intent on controlling middle with the kind of 3-pronged attack. They've got the cap player as well as 2 up here at mid. And Montu will punish. They will happily fight Montu, knowing that he's grabbing $100 a kill.
Ooh.
It's kind of just like a carnival game trying to fight the offer.
Yeah,
you have all the rights to do it. I mean, you're probably losing, but you're only giving up $100.
Oh, if it's a carnival, there's got to be clowns, Launders. Where are they?
Are you baiting me into like trying to call a player or team?
Yep.
clowns. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to play that game.
I just tried.
What are these stickers, by the way?
They're from
the weed stickers?
They're from the Broken Fang collection. Recently added. Very popular amongst the pros.
Cool.
Run boost. Oh, bit of a dud.
Does its job, I guess.
And Alexi's going to do his job once they start rounding this final corner. Valda lends a hand. Bombs drop. Perfect. Nicely done by OG there. They gave Astralis a bit of wiggle room, let them walk into their own deaths, and kept everybody standing.
And bingo bongo, or whatever they say, we're back 10-8.
Sure. Bish bash bongos.
Banjo-Kazooie. We are here within 2. Device open up. He's not got the rest of his utility kit, but it is pretty much a bonus here. Alexi, I think he'll drop a gun to his teammate just to go for the MP9. So what position will he play with it is the question. Oh, and this is good. You know, we've got fast mid control here for Astralis, but they've got Dupree out towards long by himself, and OG have no idea.
Ooh, Alexi, one and done.
They don't know about Dupree, do they?
Called it with a FAMAS. I don't think so, man. Maybe Mantu does. Oh,
okay.
Yeah, sure enough. And poor Dupree, he just sees the player inside of the bomb site, kind of peeks out a little bit wider for it, and Mantu's right there ready for him.
If he sped that up, he was actually in a good spot to catch him off. The pressure on Cat means that he had the attention of the CTs on Cat. They did their job in trying to cause a distraction from Dupree, but Dupree's timing window was a lot smaller than he realized.
Device lands a shot on Issa to drop him so low, and Xyp9x immediately tries to like vacuum into this dark unknown of middle control. Ah, Mantu just walks right down. Ooh, bring a knife to a gunfight. You're gonna get blasted. Glaive gets Swiss cheesed. Device not able to find any movement inside of the A site. There is nobody there. If only he had the bomb. He has to double back for it. Issa's going to jump up right into him. In fact, that's an offering.
That's huge, yeah.
Now, if he uses his Molotov on CT spawn, he can just go right in for this bomb plant.
Yeah, the rotation's going to be slow. He's got the AWP, which I would take an AWP over a rifle in this 1v3 in the post plant specifically.
Yeah.
Oh, a smoke to use, and you know he'll get creative with it. Now it's a 1-on-2. I mean, it's basically 50-50 at this point. In Device, he's not scared of Cat. He's taking down the long player. He's looking for the fight in CT spawn. It feels like it's coming. Oh! He does grab that shot. Another up the ramp, and he isn't spotting anybody coming out of that smoke. But that player, oh my God, actually MBK does trade him out, doubling up in CT with his teammate and denying another clutch from Device.
Listen, man, there's a small group of players where in that 1v4 with that bomb plant, you can start to feel it. You know, your mind's eye just, it tells you this is winnable. And a guy like Device definitely makes it close. Valiant effort here in the clutch. Clean op shots on both the peek on long and this one into Mantu. And then it's just a matter of trying to keep track of NBK, who comes out from the bushes with that big old beard.
It was just, it was one kill at a time.
Robin Williams.
It was so much like the, it was like the Deagle, the round that became the Deagle to the M4 to the
yesterday
8.
with Keto.
No, I mean, you're
earlier here.
Match, yeah, where he picked up all 5. Okay, one for one out towards long control. OG being very aggressive about it. They lose a key player. Feels like MBK in the second half has been catching them when they've been falling. But the same can be said for Dupree over on Astralis. 3 CTs here at long, and Mantu puts in the work. They drop the bomb out in the open, and they flash retake, but it's not a good flash. That flash did not do anything. I'm not sure if it popped behind a sign or if it bounced off something, but it didn't go up far enough.
There's another one.
I gotta be careful with, even if a flash is good for situations like that, if you trust a flash too hard, you swing too wide sometimes. And one flash, you can get very unlucky in a number of ways. But here they don't get the information. They go back. And Astralis are taking the route of delaying at long to go back up towards A. They have no plans to leave from here. So it just comes down to how OG want to commit, or how OG want to play this, if they want to commit or not. But it's all about generating the idea that they're walking back through spawn, through tunnels, so OG aren't going to move anytime soon.
Buying some crucial time.
Whoa, he just jumped up on Fast Cat. That's an interesting spot actually to be in.
Alexi's looking over, Zipix, safe bomb plant, no one's gonna be able to stop him. That frag grenade, oh, almost in time. Bomb would have gone down regard. Oh, another dunked on. And now it falls onto the op of Magisk. He's got both these players. Now, if they boost one on site, they can peek him at the same time from different positions, and that should be enough, and they don't even need to both go at him. Just nicely played by OG. Perfect frag grenades, perfect peek, and an excellent 2v2 to take them into a nice, even scoreline.
It's just perfectly coordinated. I mean, contrast that with some of the rounds in the first half. It's like already such a better situation. Some great nades here to make up for the fact that Alexi B kind of messed up with the flash earlier on. Throws the well-placed HE. Issa comes over. They hold their grenades for a long time. Alexi delays with the Molotov for long enough for Issa to rotate in the first place. I mean, it felt like we were watching Astralis in the retake, right? So
yeah, spot on.
That's a very good round from them. And that does make it a tied game.
Yes, sir. 5 rounds straight from this CT side of OG. And 3 of those 5 by way of defuse.
Gotta love those vertical stacks too. It's just an absolute perfect counter. And it looks so easy to organize from the perspective of the person who's getting peeked. But of course, when you're trying to vertical stack with someone and peek to the same angle as them, you can't always look like that well drilled.
Yeah, we saw it in that one. You know, there was a little bit off because it seemed like the bottom player was looking more towards pit. But Issa played it intelligently. New plat was an option. And finishes off what was, of course, a very wounded Magisk. And now we get Astralis on Desert Eagles. So a half buy here with a nice amount of utility. They could definitely piece something together here. This is a very viable round for Astralis, but they've already lost their first member, Glaive, down to the op of Montu. Ooh, they're just going to express this one. Okay, playing quick. Sliding into elbow already. Alexi's going to start dropping down that utility and pumping out the damage. Mantu's here. Oh, shooting at dead bodies, but hey, the job is nearly done. Deagle perhaps from Magisk as he gets himself a second kill. That quick flank coming through from NBK. Stutters for a moment. And this bomb plant should be good. There's an incendiary now thrown out. Ooh. And it just forces him forward into NBK's spray, an 11th for OG.
Yeah, that's what we call in Dota zoning right there. Got the molly to push him forward, and NBK's not worried. Another round where he saves them. Don't know what happened with Issa's spray there, but it doesn't matter. They win the rounds, and they're fine with that. Of course, it's costly because now they're running at a deficit. 3 players dead. But it could have gotten even uglier, it feels like.
It's nice to know these guys are human. Alexi shooting that dead body because he thought it was an opponent.
Right. We've all been there.
Classic. OG have a lead.
They do, man.
Yo. I see that logo on fire. It looks good.
Yeah. I'm happy you're happy for OG success since you haven't gotten a prediction correct yet.
Well, at this point, I've accepted my fate. I am the punching bag around here. You guys should see how they treat me in the studio. Nobody makes eye contact. I have to pick up everyone's dishes. They asked me yesterday, Connor, who'd you predict? And then before I could answer, they say, doesn't matter.
They pay you to know your predictions, but not for the right reasons.
Yeah, I hired an analyst specifically to make my predictions this event, and I'm still going to be 0 for 4.
Oh my God. Does it still have something to do with you or not?
No, not even. Maybe I've just got, bad decision making in general.
Yeah, bleeding over from Counter-Strike habits.
Nice full-fledged gun round here in the 22nd. Spread out offense initially, but everybody's kind of congregated over on long. Mid being neglected for the time being. Oh, but
well,
yeah, Mantu, he tries to go over top of the smoke. Device is ready for it. Incendiary on the feet of Glaive gives an audio cue over. Valda making the most of it. Big time.
they're falling back. There's a crack on this smoke, so they can't really... Oh, okay, that's like kind of a bluff, but Dupree gets the kill. The trade back happens. Oh, this is actually a counter. Issa getting this kill sends everything back. Even though it's 3-on-4, look at the damage on Glaive and Magisk. Plus, they know that no one had crossed from long yet. And now B is kind of out of the picture. 20 seconds left.
Yeah, Valda's ready, though. Cuts down Zipix with a headshot. Woo! Working with a little bit of room. And he's got them all. Valda, nicely done. Of course, he hears the footsteps of Glaive, who will get himself a kill, but if only he had more time. This is a 12th round win for OG, a 2-point lead, and a flawless CT side so far.
No kidding, no kidding. So really, it feels like a little bit of Astralis here in the second half with how they're playing. This was a, oh man, like, this is so many close situations in a row once again, which is cool to try to unpack. But Valda's the hero. I mean, in terms of just a pure ADR, he actually gets the dinks earlier. He gets the damage through the smoke. He finishes it off the players as well. The leftovers at the end of the day, looking a little bit more animated on the cameras. That's nice to see. But of course, at the in the final stretch, that's when you got to be most worried about Astralis. Okay, this is when they get the strongest. But at least we have a game on our hands. Honestly, yesterday between Big and OG was a little bit messier, and it was hard to watch at times a little bit. But now it's a lot more competitive. But I'm sure if you look at this from the lens of Astralis, you're thinking, man, they're making maybe mistakes that they shouldn't make. But they also did come into this with a 10-5 half. Fight goes on again. Doing a lot of 4-1s with Long. Early damage in. I think, you know, Montu in terms of like cool plays, he hasn't done anything too interesting, but he has just quietly continued to get a kill every single round except for that last one. And then you have the second star in Valda who can make up for Montu.
Thing was yesterday is that Searson just absolutely had his number.
Yeah.
Something like 10-1 in terms of op kills.
Yeah, definitely.
After Dust 2. So he was just completely nullified. And we're not seeing that this evening.
Yeah, he's won a couple of duels versus Device straight on, and for the rest of the rounds, he's actually, you know, typically you don't want your op fighting the other op. That's just two high value targets putting up tons of risk. It's not really worth it. You want to try to take down the weaker pieces, right? Anybody who's with a rifle, you live longer, you get more kills. Avoid the op if possible. But when it has come to it, you know, Mantu's held his own. Hold the flash. Oh, it's perfect, actually.
It is so on point. Alexi B gonna get 2 assists as Valda extends off Long. Device will trade frag back, and Valda can't get himself a trio. Now it's gonna fall onto the offer. We just spoke of him. 30 seconds here for Astralis. They try to use the smoke from the frag grenade to cover the jump. Not gonna work. And now Device is sent with his tail tucked.
They can wait this out if they want to. I mean,
they want to. But Issa, he wants his kill, and he will take it as OG continue to tear up this CT side. Now we're not even talking bomb plants.
I mean, it's just a perfectly timed flash. Another flash from Alexi B for the long retakes. Just really well timed, right? They don't wait longer than they need to. That's also, that kind of goes unnoticed a little bit. If he doesn't hit this shot, you know, there's potential the bomb goes down. So 2v2 with a long plat in question. Potentially Astralis are still winning there. But now the close situations are starting to lean towards OG. It's looking very good. Astralis on their 4th tag timeout. Unfortunately, it's still Dust 2 at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It is a lot of the mid-round moments. And the game, I mean, Dust 2 matches are fun to cast. There's so many creative moments in the 2v2s and 3v3s. But it's just, you know, when it comes to preparing like your opening strategy for a round, there's nothing particularly wrong about taking long control and then thinking about committing to A. It's this idea of, oh, we're getting flash retake in here, we're taking damage through the smoke. It's more just like a nature of the map problem that they're having trouble overcoming. And look at this, OG on fire, 13-10 end pistols here for Astralis as they defend against 14.
8 consecutive round wins from OG. Not one T round win yet for the Danes, but they've got themselves up quickly. They definitely hang on to enough utility to make this hold a bit more difficult. We'll see. OG move their pieces. Alexi into the CT spawn, kind of checking for the possibility of a mid walkout. OG don't have eyes there from the get-go. But it's Montu who is at the top of the scoreboard for the defense. 22-13, sitting over towards Car, op ready to fire off. Glaive, he's going to call the forces closer towards the doors. And here they come. Walking outwards. as Issa is called into the action.
Sees a lot.
Yep, and then walks away from it.
Yeah. I mean, they see the plan. They don't get the kills, but that's where Astralis need to make a new move because they were going to commit very heavily to that mid B setup. But again, there's not too much you can do. They split up to make it look like it's been a long split the whole time, getting in position quite quickly. And Alexi's calling them out, but is he going to flank tunnels or is he going to flank top mid is the question. Flashed along and Alexi drops a bomb.
Volda's now going to come out from pit. Oh, it is nothing but OG across the kill feed. A rock-solid round. 5 frags, 0 deaths, 14 rounds on the board.
And their most pick map is Inferno. That's OG. 45%, I think, is what Pimp said or Maniac said as a first pick. And Astralis picked Inferno into them. And this was the question of, like, this would be the time where you'd pick Nuke. In this kind of veto, and it is, you know, why don't they pick Nuke? Are they not comfortable with their Nuke at the moment? I mean, their Inferno definitely looks fallible. So this is a precarious situation here on Dust 2. They both used to be maps that Astralis had just put up insane win streaks on, both of these maps, but it's been a year and a bit since then. Okay, who has the edge in this round? It's hard to say. I mean, this situation is pretty even from what we've seen, but almost every time it's gotten to this point, OG have been able to edge it out with the help of Volda, especially Volda-Alexi B combo here on A.
Incendiary down to counter out any kind of an A split, but T's a bit slower towards middle for the time being.
They're trying to bait that flash peek again.
Mm-hmm. So far, no bite. Yep, there it is, cat play. Ooh, these CTs look compromised. They're going to turn their attention back towards elbow. Glaive hits him with the drive-by, but Valda's still good to deliver. Gets his kill. That bomb's cut off on Catwalk. Glaive, he's going to have to dig them out of this position, and he's nearly dead himself. There's also a chance that NBK comes up from Cat and counters this A hit, but they've got that bomb front sight planted. They've got device down on long, op ready to go. First kill comes through. Glaive working with little HP, still takes a headshot.
He might not know he's here.
It's all on NBK. That smoke's gonna counter the offer. He gets the kill to Glaive. Just one more headshot versus device.
No way he missed that.
USP's out. Oh my god, he's just tagging him down. He's playing with him. NBK. Audacious plays. It's Astralis with the round win. They finally put an end to the streak of the CTs, but it's still that 3-round lead.
That was extremely close. In terms of adaptation, it's cool. Like, the strat made sense, you know. They take long like they used to do, and then OG came in a little bit late, realizing that there could be a cat split. You saw that blue kind of line from the smoke to show that they were going to go and take cat control, but it was too late at that point. Astralis has swung. So they found one opening. They adapted to something at least. But is that enough? We still got a few rounds to go, and even that round came close, man. OG have definitely brought the fighting spirit. Wow, it was a very expensive round here for Astralis. Down to a Galil, a Mac 10 here for Zipix. But at least the gears are turning. Alexi and MBK actually up here on the mid boxes.
Glaive could go in. Nope. Dives back instead, so...
He kind of cancels the molly, though. They don't push through on that, so Mantu can stay up here now.
Yep. Can hang around on his position. They're going to get curious towards tunnels. It's technically a 2v1, and Dupree just working with the Galil. Oh, he sees the first one cross. Good trade frag. Luckily, they were 2 players. I think OG will take that, because it's not like Issa needs to cross back through mid, so they're still working Astralis towards the better defended bomb site.
They win the information, yeah. 1 for 1, but tunnels is clean beyond that.
25 seconds to spare. You see the utility starting to come in. Device got the lineup. Smokes down. Bit of a defense here. Definitely throwing themselves towards ramp. NBK, he could be that playmaker. They've got the bomb on site, planting for Catwalk. NBK goes inwards. He hits the headshot to Magisk, but Magisk gets the better of the fight, and Glaive, that anchor in middle, finds the B rotator to lock down this round. Astralis, they do it. They squeeze their way through Catwalk, and they're going to win back-to-back rounds, 14-12.
I love how they get the bomb down, actually. The flash kind of to come in, and MBK feels like he has full rights to swing, but there's nobody there. And then suddenly off the corner of a smoke, someone appears. That was just very nicely done from Astralis off of the cap play. If no one gets damage in on the players crossing, then that's a free plant. Sometimes, I mean, that's the only time you do get to get any damage in is your op or on long, but they weren't in place in that situation. So 2 guns saved, maybe. Oh, Valda taking some damage, almost answering back. But here it is, right? They just stay so deep in. They're not just out at the wicker baskets. They're not sitting at the barrels, holding that hard angle, ready to eat the flash. Just nobody's there, right? Nobody's home. And it catches them off guard.
So a matter of millimeters, man. Magisk, he eats a headshot, still gets his kill. It's not like NBK missed the shot. Let's see what they can do with the M4 and the op.
Yeah, this is where Montu
like
kind of go unchanged. They've got they weaponized the M4, and they have Montu right behind him as well.
This is sick too, right? This is the 2 heavy hitters for OG we've seen.
But we've got long, we've got under, we've got lower, and we've got top mid here, all ready to crunch on this. Better believe they're waiting for this push.
Yep.
And Montu goes down. They can recover the op, but again, they've got too many ways to trade back.
Perfectly done from Astralis. Take down both of the players looking to make the play. Now you just clean up versus these measly USPs, take that 13th round, and you are still within the potential 16-14 close. Dupree clears up close, gets the second kill. Again, just the pistol's not going to deliver much. This is actually Dupree on for the ace.
Just got all the refrags from lower coming out late. Yeah, no, it's a much more real game, of course. 2 rifle rounds in a row. Well, I mean, I guess the 1 rifle round plus this. They didn't actually invest, I don't think, into this at all. They just kept the M4 and op forward. That's it.
Spot on.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. It's of course OG's money. That's a bit more
valuable.
It's in a tighter spot just because they're on the win streak, so they're collecting that loss bonus. But they could potentially buy again. I think I saw ISO with enough money for an op as well. So we'll see what happens. Seen a couple of cool rounds now from Astralis. A very clean cap plant, a long split, but with Cat involved that they hadn't tried before. That's caught OG off guard. So now what is the strategy that Astralis will try to do? The game becomes more high level. We're seeing some adaptations from Astralis. Definitely not out of it. And some early damage here on Alexi B.
Just to make things that much more interesting. Weak link.
No one sneaks out.
A weak link on an important player. Alexi loves to throw himself at his enemies. He's got 9 assists, actually.
They countered the Xbox smoke with this kind of forward aggressive smoke on Cap, but no one's pushed up towards it.
Alexi already susceptible, though. If he dies, working only with half health, then it is only NBK back B site. And by the looks of this bomb, grouping up inside of tunnels, NBK is about to get challenged. He throws down his incendiary, and then he starts pumping shots through smoke. Nicely done versus Magisk, but there's that weak link. It has a crucial impact on this one, but Glaive makes that same decision not to stick around in mid, instead going towards tunnels. We saw this fall short, and NBK has delivered crucial damage. OG a little hesitant, thinking maybe there's a man in mid.
No smoke?
No smoke.
Oh, they need to cross.
Valda, he's gonna challenge. Device misses that first op shot. Dude, Astralis, they just go stagnant.
Oh, they're throwing the retake smoke early as well. This puts some pressure on the B-side attack. They're coming through.
It gives him the cross.
Oh, they do. Yeah, they do actually. They're not using it, and they give him the cross.
When he's got a little gap to work with, that actually enables the bomb to get over. This could have been such a worse position. But don't forget, the HP here for Astralis is incredibly low. And again, no utility to hang on with, but Glaive, that's not going to stop him from executing Issa. 2 versus 3 for OG.
they're in a position where they might, I mean, they've got to think about whether or not they can do this. They don't know about the HP entirely, and Montu's already made his way back to long. They're just going to punish for exits. They let this one go.
Oh.
They didn't realize that Astralis had no smoke.
Yep. That retake smoke is what enables the easier cross.
They just had, man, if they had realized that
wow.
Astralis had no utility to cross that door, Montu could have had a free shot on the cross.
Oh, that one's going to sting when they watch it back, man. Glaive getting the better of Alexi, making the most of Device's early damage. NBK,
another
awesome
great hold.
job.
Yeah, he's done so well.
2 easy pickups before he even takes damage, and then he even gets the dink versus Zippix. And then we saw that stagnation, man. They're like gargoyles, just waiting, sitting still.
The weird part for the lurk smoke for me was, even despite not knowing, like, that's, you know, how maybe they don't know it's okay. They don't use the smoke at all. I mean, they literally just block their vision and they don't come out into the site. So if they were going to use it in some way, or, you know, enter the retake early with 3, get the info, see if the straws are still there, it makes sense. Yeah. I think that was a really, oof. It's going to be a hard one to explain. Game is, of course, still not over. Still close in every single situation.
Back-to-back pauses. What a half this has been.
Yeah.
9-round streak from OG. 4 in a row now for Astralis. If they get their 15th right now, then that's them getting themselves on fire with a 30th round ahead. Leave it to the Great Danes.
It's a tense moment. It sucks because you're spending most of the CT tack pauses trying to figure out what you think Glaive is going to do, as opposed to, you know, what you necessarily want to try to do. The one aggressive option, you know, to play up mid, is that something that they need to do to win? Not necessarily. They've had a lot of success this half already, playing pretty standard CS, fighting a little bit at long. So I don't know what they want to try to do. Damn. Lexi sticking out with a sore thumb, 531 utility damage here. Overall, just leaning, I think, a little bit more heavily, even though evenly to Astralis, heavily to OG. And we'll have to see what the game plan is going to be. Is that 3 pauses in a row?
It was tactical, now technical.
Okay.
Issa's keyboard died.
Oh, perfect. Maybe put some new batteries in there or something.
Sorry, guys. Forgot to charge my keyboard.
Yeah, I was using like a wireless charger to charge like a vape. I don't vape anymore, but
congrats.
Like a while ago, it was like a vape, my phone, and my Kindle all at the same time. I'm charging a book, a cigarette,
and a mini computer.
And a mini computer all on a portable wireless charger. Like, what is going on?
You're essentially...
It's wild.
A cyborg.
Just cyborgs, yeah.
We've had this conversation before about cyborgs, whether or not you'd start getting those, biotech upgrades.
Yeah.
You know? I'm all for it, man.
Yeah. Anything specific that you're looking for? Or because you just said, just
laser
put the
eyes.
microchips in me.
Yeah. Anything.
What do you mean?
got.
Like, you'd shoot lasers out of your eyes? Or
Yeah, like Cyclops.
Why would they give you that?
Because I want it.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be legal. You would just destroy things.
You assume, man. Maybe I would use it for good.
Like what?
Like stopping bad people.
No, that's what they all say first.
Stopping the bad laser.
Then you live long
yeah.
enough to see yourself become the villain.
That's true.
Okay. Watch a movie.
Don't trust me. Anything practical? What if you could just flick and start fire? That'd be cool.
Why does everything have to do like damaging things for you?
I don't know. That's a good point.
Destroy things and light them on fire. For good.
For good. They do say you have to fight fire with fire.
Oh. Well, I mean, if I could put my phone like in my, I don't know what, in my wrist or something, then
okay.
I couldn't lose it.
What if you were just the wireless battery? You could just charge things. It's a real gimmick, but people would appreciate you. Like, damn, my phone's about to die, and you go, don't worry, just give it here.
Can I borrow a Launders like that?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Launders, you want to carry my phone for 20 minutes?
USB-C.
Yeah. iPhones only.
Yeah.
I see Device sitting back down.
That's cool.
Maybe the game commences.
He went to the other room, gave us a keyboard.
I've noticed that
Okay.
Xyp9x has this potion of orange juice, man. You see the size of that cup?
That's a bulb, yeah. That's like a candle jar, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, he's Danish
He's
after
Danish,
all.
so.
They burn more candles per capita than anywhere else in the world.
Ziwo uses milk, orange juice. It feels like water is falling out of favor.
Yeah.
For a while, it was just water. But now we're starting to get... we're starting to indulge a little bit more. Oh my God, are we back into the game?
I think so.
Round 28?
29.
Around 29. Things couldn't be more serious. And OG, they actually don't have enough money to invest at all. Oh my God, it's MBK, Montu on and off, but nobody else has put in the money. Valda has an M4 to work with. Oh my God, are Astralis going to get here for free? No, not if MBK can say anything about that. The flying scoutsman pops up, drops onto the B site, and that's a 5v4 advantage. And he's got eyes down on this gun. Not that Astralis need to recover it, but now OG could potentially take it.
That's how they get the 5v4? In a round where their economy is against...
He deserves some shine, you know, for how well he's been playing. A lot of these rounds getting lost, even though he's putting up great holds.
Yeah, normally he has to wait for them to come to him. In this case, he gets to show us a little bit of impact before the execute moves forward, but I think the execute still comes at him. We've got Astralis very much clumped up inside of the tunnels. Glaive, again, this solo lurk in middle, such a crucial part of the puzzle. Snaps it onto Alexi, but MBK's got a second. This scout is doing wonders for OG. And he still has support as well. Issa behind the car with a deagle in hand. Can NBK give us a third? No, overwhelmed by the AKs. And Issa, he's missing the first shots, but he still recovers with one, and then they both swing wide. Xyp9x dies in the meantime, and we've got ourselves a 2v2 for round 15. Someone's gonna secure it. Who's it gonna be?
That same smoke comes through. Glaive on duty to watch the tunnels.
Oh, but he doesn't get the headshot. Now, Magus claws one off of middle. We've got ourselves a 1v1.
Oh, he falls into the site, though. Will Mantu think he left?
He's just playing behind the column.
He thinks he left.
Valda jumps in. He's just playing around with him. Valda, up close and personal, loses his head as Astralis take 15.
Oh, he keeps his cool. That is so well played by Magisk. Love how he just instantly decides to stay in the site instead of going outside, knowing that Mantu's going to focus all of his attention there. That is some beautifully played CS, and Glaive as well. Both players left alive at the end definitely have an incredible amount of impact here. And this is one where, once again, MBK gets all these kills in vain. He does so much to get the first 2 scout headshots. He got the 2.5 kills with the AUG on that previous round. Both rounds lost. And now, Astralis on fire, looking to close this out.
Yeah, they get ferocious towards long. Dupree in middle. Issa's tucked in the closer corner, though. That's a 5v4 again for OG, just like last round. And of course, this time, the rest of their team better equipped for the situation. We could be looking at overtime here in the opening map. We've got Astralis working up Cat. 2 defenders in position on the A site. Make that just 1. Glaive, clean headshot. He's got 60 health to work with, but we've got 2 frags back from OG. That ramp man still in a crucial position, but Astralis, they have time.
Overtime looming.
They disengage from it. Magisk throws bomb back. Now we've got this heavy lean towards the A site. Negligible grenade. Device swapping over to the rifle, making sure Issa's no longer up close. They play shoulder to shoulder to Astralis. They could still just puncture into this B site maybe. They've got that 1 smoke still on Device, and sure enough, he's gonna throw it. Flashbang comes down, blinds them. Issa, he just got spotted. That's an easy pickup from Device. And now it's a 2v1 versus NBK. But if we've learned anything, it's that he can lock down this B site. And he's gonna try it one final time to get them into OT. They're coming at him, and he cuts down Device. Bomb is not planted. 10 seconds to spare. He goes for the challenge, gets the headshot, but the tunnel flank. That's what gets us there. Overtime on Dust 2.
Well, another critical frag, except this time it actually results in the round, and we go to OT. No clear winner in sight. I mean, I really couldn't tell you. This was a nice comeback at the end for Astralis to get it to 15. OG looked alive the whole time, but just like in the first half, Astralis and all these close situations were coming out a little bit ahead here. Maybe a small mistake here from Issa. Just almost put the round in jeopardy. But of course, MBK played it very, very well, like he has been for the majority of the CT side. And allows his team to delay as well as just, put out the kill and not even die until the very last seconds. Okay, what's going to happen now in OT? We've got one op apiece. The fast push down mid. A player coming out of tunnels. Instant pressure, it looks like, on this setup. And they're pushing the tunnels.
Ooh, Montu's close. Oh, he hits his shot, but so does Dupree.
He can hold here. He's trying to hold for MBK to fight this off.
Yep. Now it's all a crunch on NBK. He's going to get hit from 3 directions. Oh, he actually survives. NBK looking for another Glaive. That's going to buy a bit of time, but Magisk, he cuts them down in middle alongside Glaive. A really quick round coming out of Astralis.
That's kind of crazy.
Through middle to the B site. CTs try to push into tunnels. That almost gets caught out. We had fireworks to kick off OT.
Yeah, no kidding. They attacked with tempo here, coming down for this fast mid-B split. It's just something different, right? They're hoping OG go for long control. They're rewarded. They get the Alexi kill as well as a rotator at mid. He's a huge name tag to grab at mid because, either right or left side, he's usually the player overstacking one side or the other. And Device looking for this punish. Whoa, that's interesting. What's that? That was I guess the first one was a T-smoke. I was like, that wasn't 2 CT smokes, was it? And that tactic gets shut down.
Looking to corral them in the middle, man, so he's got to fall off. Alexi blinded.
Damn, this position has been key for OG.
Yep.
Issa and Alexi, both netting kills.
Oh, Montu's on the retreat, man, but he's going to eat that flashbang. And then Dupree jumps down to the CT spawn.
Did they even hear this?
I don't think so.
I don't think there's anybody even close enough. Montu has no idea that someone's down here.
Oh.
Dupree could do everything.
Yeah, if Alexi just retreats a little bit, then he's dead, and that's the A site completely open. And now the longer and the deeper Dupree tucks. Oh, this could be a big one. There are 3 players ahead of him, and he just decides to pull the trigger. Doesn't want to get caught out. Beautiful play from Dupree. Montu could have never seen it, not with the pressure of those flashbangs. And sure enough, it's 4 alive for Astralis. They're gunning for that flawless T-side in overtime.
The El Clasico, the Freiburg drop into CT spawn. But yeah, there's no one in CT spawn, and Montu full flash with the perfectly timed flash and the drop. Make sure there was no way he could corroborate that information in good conscience. We saw when he swung out wide that he didn't know for sure if any play had been made. That is not what you expect. If you're OG in that spot. And that's with a 5v4 in that round. Tough to lose in that fashion. But just like that, it's 17-15. After a massive comeback from Astralis to get here. Winning, I think, 7 of the last 8 rounds. Outside of round 30. The problem for OG, of course, they need the win. Big damage. Oh my goodness, scraping sideways right with it. Yeah.
And look where it leaves them, dude. That is just... I mean, all is fair in war, but...
Close.
Love and war? I like to just get things 80% correct. Alexi, let's see it, man. All on your own because of the Dax. And, well, sure enough, he's going to get himself 2 kills. Off of the side of car. How about a third one? You've got Glaive kind of turned between positions and a weapon swap. Alexi taking over. NBK comes out to lend the helping hand. It's all on Zipix. He's going to get himself the frag versus Alexi, which pushes us into a 1v1.
Volda's late. He is the rotator who comes through tunnels often. Zipix could potentially... He seems so aware of this idea. I feel like part of him just wants to exit, but, he can't be that positive. He's coming in to clear the tunnels. Oh, he's got his back turn, and he gets timing.
Yes, sir. OG going to take 1 round here in overtime, CT side. You were dead on, though. You could see him starting to figure that one out. Volda has consistently come from tunnels. That's how we got to OT to begin with.
Well, that was a pretty crazy hold from Alexi B that just could not kill him. He is just denying space from this angle, and it's really hard to clear unless you go super deep. Plus, this flash from Montu helped out a lot. But, I mean, it really comes down to him and his mechanics. Takes out even Glaive as a third player coming through, and, yeah, this one really does come down to just a matter of timings. And you can see he's always one of the most immersed players, right? There's certain people who are just very, very immersed in CS. It's always lovely to see. Getting scared there in the 1v1. It's either him getting shocked or the finger wag. Those are the two.
It depends on if he wins or loses.
Yeah, Zipix moments.
They swap over to the defense now. And this is where we kind of watched OG fizzle out. Remember, it was a 10-5 CT side from the Danes to begin this game. And Dupree's going hunting. But not taking too much of a risk just yet. Smoke starts to fade in. Oh, and he waits it out. Gets the better of Montu. Nice pickup here for Astralis. Glaive going to confirm that there are more bodies near the doors. How do OG roll back from a 4v5?
Well, I mean, they kind of feel like that Dupree is on the right side, so, I mean, they've kind of got the right idea, but now two players rotate over to support and B, so Astralis are the ones with the correct read here. Execute is coming, just a few seconds.
And they've just got to lock this down. They've got the bodies in position. Magisk eats that first flash. Grenades continuing to sail forward. Dupree holding the side of the smoke. Bomb drop. Confirm that there's a player up above. Glaive coming out 10. Ooh, but hold on. It's Alexi. He's got the cover of the box. Not much time, and again, no bomb. A very dire situation for OG at this point. Looking like Astralis are about to secure themselves an 18th.
Yeah, no chance. No bomb in sight, and not many players to kill. He's just dead. That is it. And Astralis will pull that one out. Looks easier than the last. Only thing different here is Dupree opting from the left side of doors, which he normally is on the right. You know, he's outside of the window for some of this early round when he thinks they're going to come out. So this is a different look from him. And a small risk, right? When you pick you're on that side of the door, sometimes it's hard to cross back. But they find that moment. They kind of make it feel like it's an overstack towards A. They bait OG into taking B site, and then they rotate over right after. Early long presence from both sides.
2 map points. OG fighting for double OT. And Dupree falling away. They've got long control at the very least to work with.
We've seen how this goes. OG usually keep the tempo high in this moment. Well, they're going to be pretty telling if they don't. Starting to turn the corner. And Astralis is a big blind spot for them. They're going to have to guess. They haven't taken over tunnels in this spot, so it's not a bad spot for OG at all.
Smoke denies that gap from Dupree. He was looking to punish it. I like this mid. This mid elbow smoke allows for him to peek around. Device, Dupree, Glaive, Zipix. It's nearly a team ace to shut down OG. And Montu, he has nothing to work with other than himself. He was waiting and hoping the bomb would be planted for him, that maybe he comes in big with a clutch, but instead, he has no real chance at this. A pop-up above the smoke. He will kill Dupree. Now it's just 4 more to go. I suppose the saving grace, Mohan, is he has to play for it. Maybe he pulls out a ridiculous clutch, but he's got 30 seconds to do it. So in reality, it seems like Astralis, after having lost so many T rounds in a row, they just break through enough to get into OT. And from there, we saw a really fiery tempo from Astralis' T side. Really kind of cranking the dial, getting the rounds they needed. And I mean, Mantu literally can't win this. So congrats to the Danes. They close out on Dust 2, but a much closer affair than some would have expected.
Oh, I mean, the game was almost over, man. It was like 14-10 here for OG. And it was tough at the end. They lost a few rounds in a row, of course. That is what Astralis can do to you. And take it to overtime after dropping round 30, but they close it out, and that's all that matters.
Yep.
1-0 up, and now, you know, Inferno is a little bit less scary.
Of course, at the top of the scoreboard, Dupree and Magisk, 28 kills apiece, really putting in the work. And I think that's the difference here, that, man, the individual form across both teams looked good. We had those star moments. NBK on B site, that was a big head turner for me personally. I'm curious to see what comes next, though. Inferno, a map that Astralis have lost recently just to Nip. Maybe OG can knock them down a peg. We'll see. Throwing this one to a break. We'll have the analysts after that, and we'll see you guys soon for map 2.
We are waiting for you, man. Can you come fast, please?
Oh my god, it's so hard when you're jumping into people.
Yeah.
But the only one on the other side. No! I guess. Oh, this is annoying. No way.
No.
I haven't even completed one yet. Have you all done everything? Oh my god.
We are waiting for you, man. Can you come fast, please?
Nope. That's not gonna happen. Yeah, I'm here.
Astralis managed to get the win, but after a 10-5 first half, you thought it would be a lot more convincing than an overtime game. Astralis still not able to hit the mark of old, but a win is a win, and they'll take it against OG. But in a game like this, Maniac, I would say certainly we should give OG a lot of credit in this, because it wasn't like they were the ones playing bad.
You're absolutely correct. I think OG did a very, very good run in this first map. Losing in overtime obviously has to be frustrating. That was Dust 2. That was their opportunity to get one notch in the belt in this best of 3. But finally, we see Astralis finding some calm when it matters the most. From 10-14 to actually putting it back to overtime, and at the very end, they're just in control. That's good to see, but I agree with you. That was a good effort from OG.
Yeah, this is it, right? We kind of painted the picture that Astralis, okay, yes, always the favourite in a matchup like this, but would even have the benefit of the doubt on any map given up if they'd be fighting on OG.
Yeah, you're right. I just feel like when watching the game, right, I'm a little bit uneasy with the way they run Astralis, because sure, they got the victory on the opponent's map pick as well, but when you're up as big as you are and you then went on to lose 9 rounds in a row against OG, that sure, they played in instances, they played good in that game, but I don't feel they were playing up to pair with the best of the best, right? Valde had some good moments, Alexi B as an in-game leader as well. We need to address the fact that he's actually having a very good tournament so far. He's very proactive, super aggressive. You talked about him being involved in a lot of opening duels for OG. Same was the case here for him. Having an ADR of almost 100 as an in-game leader against Astralis, he's doing a lot of good stuff on the server. Yet, that being said, you have Valde, who are your star player. We talked about that. You have Alexi B, who are your biggest, let's say, attribute compared to him being the in-game leader, and you still don't win, despite winning 9 rounds in a row against Astralis. Then what more can you hope for from OG? I feel like this was the one shot of taking off a map from Astralis, yet they couldn't make it.
Yeah, they couldn't make it, right? And now they go on to Astralis' map pick. But before we get there, there's one man we got to discuss here, and it's Device up to a cheeky little ace for the round that helped him out.
Yeah, that was a key round that I want to bring to the viewers' attention. That was round, I believe, number 9, 6-2 scoreline. Astralis going in an eco round, 6-3 actually, and this is Device with his magic. Starts off with a beautiful deagle. Pay attention to his positioning throughout the clip. Started off catwalk, found the first kill. 30 seconds later, repositions it with middle, pushes into lower, grabs the M4, another easy kill onto Issa. It's now a 4 versus 3. Remember, that was a half buy from Astralis. That was almost an eco round. Rushes towards CT spawn, found a cheeky little kill through the smoke. Sometimes you have to be a little bit lucky. It's part of Counter-Strike. But then again, he doesn't stop there. Realizes he has to move about, shuffles the car, goes towards long. Another kill onto Alexi with the M4. That is Device moving about during the round, making a whole difference. 19 HP onto Mentu. Poor guy has a really hard clutch ahead of him, and even though he's going to be able to find Magisk, that's Device with the ace. I thought that this was going to be it for the game. 6-3 scoreline, Astralis winning an eco round. I thought they were done.
And this is it, right? This is where we have to give a lot of credit also to OG and the fact that they were able to fight back so strong and push Astralis around on a map that we used to say for Astralis is one of their better ones. They've always had a map that's been incredible for them, but Dust 2 at the time looked really strong.
You can't take away the fact that OG played a decent game of Counter-Strike, maybe even a good game of Counter-Strike according to their own standards, for sure. Problem for them as well, there was more than just Device from Astralis playing well. We talk about Magix as well coming into this game, especially on the CT side. As a B anchor, he's probably one of the best in the entire world, and I'm sure we're going to see that in some of these instances as well. Magix, when he's playing like the way he is right now with the rifle, he's so hard to deal with, right? We talked about him in the period when he was the in-game leader for Astralis, that maybe he wasn't having too much success in terms of winning his duels, in terms of focusing on his own individual gameplay. But I'm seeing more and more games where Magix is back to his old self.
Yes.
And that's a problem for the opponents of Astralis, because this guy right here on your screen, he's sort of like a forgotten star. Of course, when you have Dupree, you have Device, even Siblings being the clutch master, Magix out there, if he's supposed to be a 3rd or 4th best player, he's one hell of a Counter-Strike player, and especially in the CT sides with the rifles, he can do so much damage and so much work, which he did in this game against OG.
Now, I know you two are genius analysts when it comes to this, but you both mentioned Valde as well, right? Coming into this game and saying that, okay, he is a star player, even if it's not maybe the role that he has to sit in for this team, but he certainly showed it here on Dust 2.
Look, we talk about this 9-round streak that Jacob was alluding to, and I think part of the reason why is Valde locking down A long. I have a little bit of a highlight reel that we can show to the viewers as well, the work that Valde has done towards A long, because when Astralis was out of solution, look at him holding that position. Just an M4, nothing else. Quick kill onto Zipnix, crosser placement is perfect. That's a second kill on Magisk, and then poor Device left with the AWP, no chance. That was the first round that Valde completely locked down on his own. Even if Lev is going to find the kill, it's not going to make a difference. And then the team play coming in, asking for the flash at the right timing. Crosser placement is perfect. The spray as well. 2 quick kills, even a 3rd, I believe, at the end. Good round from Valde. He alone, he made life so hard for Astralis. And this is where the Danes were running out of options. They tried to burst through all this A side. They did everything they could, but it just wasn't enough. They went on to dominate to 14-10, and then finally Astralis found the solution.
Finally found the solution, but it still went all the way into overtime to try and make that happen. Now we go to Inferno, and you guys have had different opinions when I broke this to you, because I, for one, was sat more with Pimp on saying that, okay, their Inferno is acceptable, but it's not something we can have confidence in. But Maniac, you're on the other side, and you think, oh, it's still good, they can still get it win, but it's not being clean, it's not being clear.
Can I vote Swiss on that one? Can I just be neutral? No, you're right. Inferno used to be so good for Astralis that we have to be realistic and say that it isn't as glorious as it would, right?
Yeah.
You look at the stats, there's a win against Vitality, 16-5, that's beautiful. They beat G2, that's great. They get completely demolished by Na'Vi, and I think that's the one that we keep in mind. We think about them being powerless against Na'Vi, and you're like, but that used to be their main pick, and they lose 16-5.
Well, the thing is, right, I can agree with you slightly. The Na'Vi one's not just in my head because of Na'Vi.
No.
It's that G2 one as well, right?
Yeah.
Because that G2 one was one where it was basically, Astralis should have had it more convincingly. They should have had the dominant trajectory on it, right, and trying to take them down. But these games are getting so close for Astralis when we never thought it was normal.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that's the problem for them, right? They used to be able to always pick Inferno, and as you said yesterday, you feel like, hey, Astralis, you already won up in the series. If it's not Inferno, then it's Nuke. They don't have that, dare say, home advantage anymore, where they always know they're going to win on their own map pick. They don't have that confidence anymore. They don't have that stability in their map pool. Inferno as well. The biggest problem for me when I think Astralis and when I think Inferno, to be honest, the game we saw against NIP yesterday, they won both the pistols. They converted both the pistols. They were up 6-0 in theory in that game against NIP. An NIP that have only played and practiced Inferno once or twice coming up against Astralis, yet they were not able to win their own map pick against NIP. To me, that is a worrying sign. I will say, though, I think against OG, it's a different task. I think OG right now are still a little bit under the weather. They're not, really up there where they should be able to compete against Astralis, so I still think they would be the favorites there, and I think Astralis is going to win, but I'm not as certain as I would have been a week, 2 weeks, or maybe even 2 months ago.
Yeah, that's the problem now when it comes to looking at Astralis. We know they could be a normal team, but the odds are still massively in favour of them, and Betway believe that it's not going to be even a chance for OG.
I mean, Astralis is 1-up going on to Inferno. Let's be clear, they should be just rolling towards a 2-0, but if history taught us anything, and by history I mean yesterday, we know that we should expect the unexpected.
Expect the unexpected. That's the thing we look at for this game. That's what we're expecting when we go into Inferno. It could be elimination time for OG, but we're going to have to wait and see what they can deliver in the Flames of Inferno after the break.
It was about a year ago when Complexity and Navi knocked Astralis out of the opening 2020 groups and sent them down to the Spring Showdown, and it felt like across Dust 2 that was going to happen again here, Launders. But then it didn't, and now these odds very much favoring Astralis as we jump into Inferno. Would you say they should?
Yeah, if it's for the series odds, in terms of just the map, of course. I mean, again, it is OG's most picked map, so it's not like you're gonna be uncomfortable here. I think Astralis, they're just not as good on Inferno or consistent now that we stack up some of the recent losses on the map. So it's potential that they lose 13-6 in their recent matches. Of course, they lost to NIP. They lost to Navi back-to-back. They have a loss to Evil Geniuses at the global finals on this map. They are definitely not in the clear 100%. We'll just have to see which Astralis that we can get. We know that they're trailblazers on this map, so there's potential that they roll over OG, but at the same time, OG are going to be in their comfort zone.
Well, it begins with an opening kill from Dupree. NBK loses his head. And even despite that frag towards the A site, Astralis, they're going to continue on this journey towards B, which is exactly where OG would hope they attack. We've got Valda boosted up on boxes. We've got a man back in the dark corner. And Device missing his chance at a clean opening kill here. Montu just one frag. Always the possibility of a threat to push through spawn smoke. Valda holding for now, does die to Dupree. And the last two members of OG both over on coffins. Whoa, Zipix, the moment he plants that bomb, gets killed. Low HP as well for Astralis. This is not a bad spot for OG whatsoever. They've still got the kit on Alexi B. They have to understand that these remaining players are pinned to the back of the bomb site. It's just a matter of getting clean kills, which has happened both directions. Dupree, the ace in the pistol. All 5 headshots.
Looking like Shocks. The way he plays around that box. So easy. Very clean P250 kills. And I guess we'll just get a straight up highlight reel of Dupree killing everybody here. The entry onto the site, the kill in ult. Really wonderful work around quad. I mean, love this flash shot as well. So nicely done. In and out. 1-0 here for Astralis. And I guess the one thing that muddies overall like OG statistics on this map is that they're on a 3-map loss streak themselves. 4-map loss streak, in fact. And that's 5 of 6 games, 6 of 7. Sorry, they're actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They've won 1 in 8 games. So before that, they actually had a huge streak on Inferno, but of their last 8 games, they've only won 1. So maybe maybe this will be fine for Astralis.
I feel like I just saw like your hope and soul leave your body.
Like their overall results not bad, but yeah.
I looked over at you while you were counting up those losses, Launders.
Ran out of fingers.
Yeah.
I had to take off my shoes for that one.
A dire picture, perhaps. And they got aced in the pistol. After losing a 14-10 lead in map 1.
When it rains, it pours.
All these things compile. It's enough to break a man. But can they break 5 men? Oh. Alexi just gets pegged by that smoke grenade and eats the flashbang. Oh, the utility, man. Poor guy.
Yeah. Well, they just have that tracking dart on him once they hit him with that smoke. He can only be within this proximity. Let's run through it. Flashes come as well. On the bright side, OG, they don't overcommit. They just save the guns that they can use again in the next round. But yeah, one of the most damning stats for Astralis was the pistols because, it feels like a coin flip sometimes. You don't really need that much ingenuity on a pistol round because you can still lose with the coolest strat ever. You're limited on utility. So, maybe they just weren't emphasizing, like putting a lot of emphasis on what their pistols were and just expecting to win about half of them, which I think is pretty fair. But then they, only had won 6 of 22 or whatever the stat was. And when they won and failed to convert, but when they won the pistol, it was very common that they get the 3-0 start. And they were winning a lot of their games despite having such bad pistol round stats. So this was clearly a big problem for them that they identified and solved. at least winning 2 pistols here in this series so far. We move forward with all the saved utility and upgraded pistols. And Alexi will just not invest anything.
We wait to get to the gun rounds. How much money for the SMGs? Nothing inside of the apartments.
I'm a big fan of the 2-2 mid setups. Alexi leaving his post for a moment. Go over towards the B site. No decision's been made, but I think it's a very, very strong spot for pistols to be in. Things can go awry very quickly for the T's. Dupree loves to get to this position and turn the corner. He's trying to bait some of the CTs forward. They do take the bait slightly, but there is a smoke that comes up in their face. MBK looks to try to get back as much information as he can, and he fails to jump onto the pallet, or maybe just wanted to see if there was anything over it. But it looks like the A hit is coming shortly.
Yeah, just waiting out the smokes, waiting out those few pieces of utility OG are working with. Alexi still hangs on to 1 smoke grenade, but he's over at the B site, so not going to be a problem. The problem is really NBK's to deal with. He has an entire team ahead of him. And only the 5-7 to work with, no teammate nearby. So jumping SMG works well enough, and the A site's open for the taking. This is a bomb plant, 0 casualties, an immediate save call from OG. A bit of a boring round, but that's what it had to be to minimize their losses. Just squeeze out those utilities.
He's been practicing patience recently.
Yep. And it works, you know, take a big deep breath. Focus.
I don't think Astralis' play was ever boring, even in the end of 2018, 2019, or anything like that. I don't think even when they were at their peak, in any sense, was there. I think, you know, back in the day, Na'Vi executing with 10 seconds left, that was boring. I think there was a couple of teams that were boring. I don't think Astralis were ever one of them. They always played with the right tempo.
Yep.
They changed it up a lot.
Always active.
Glaive was, you know, called tons of fast rats all the time. That was just a complete myth. I think that was made up by fans who were tired of seeing their teams losing but didn't know why. I think that's basically it. Didn't know what they were watching.
I don't know what this is, but I don't
It's
like
boring.
it.
It must be boring. That's all they could come up with. But yeah, this is something that Zonic did mention in this interview before the game, that sometimes they're just not letting the round come to them when they should. And that little bit of patience gets the rotations out of the A site over towards B.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
And it leads us this. A bye. 9-2 with the op. M4 is in abundance. It's a single kit, and OG sending 4 players early to the A site. We've seen them kind of forfeit apartments, and whoa, my goodness, check this out. Astralis, 5 men deep on B. I would not want to be Alexi in this moment.
Oh my god, this round is over. I mean, they could, I don't even, are they even going to try to go for the retake here? They're in a weird spot.
That bank grenade?
Deny, but it's all towards coffins. The plant goes down. Rotations will be here, but
yikes.
I don't know. Oh, and Device gets one through the smoke. This one, you just call it off, I think.
Man, and even, you know, what's nuts is they're going to call it off, and even then, Alexi, does he get out of here for free?
Yeah, the smoke goes down to CT at least.
3 SMGs to just kind of throw at this and take that risk. The moment you know they're saving, you can just run it down. Dude, no respect. Running up banana, no presence shown whatsoever. OG, 4 guys, A site off of the bat, and 4 rounds now for Astralis.
There's just no damage outs. Like, they needed to get Alexi had to get some damage in, but he wasn't set up for that at all. They just had no I guess they had zero fear that was coming, and it did. So, well, that'll be a lesson to him. Very easy round here for Astralis. Losing 1 player. I mean, they're saving. They actually saved 4 pistols, I think, on the second round after investing into armor as well. So the rifle buy was a lot less. So in actuality, I mean, like, money's not too bad even after buying up here, which is interesting. But
3 rounds in a row.
A good call from Astralis. Like, you're going to take a free one any day of the week.
3 rounds in a row where OG saved 4 guys alive.
Yeah, that's just the right call from Astralis. It's just correct. Blade coming correct.
There have been
arches open.
4 deaths of a potential 30 in the last 3 rounds.
Yeah, this is Arch open and no presence down B. We'll come back to watch this. Okay, they set the trap. Top of banana.
Nice grenades on the money.
This is kind of like the big style of defense on CT side. The nades from the site, the late honeypot trap at the top of banana. Not actually going there, but getting the impact. It's unconfirmed damage, but it is still damage that might have an impact.
Nice blind shot from Montu. Spam through the smoke. Dupree down low. He dies to NBK's fire. All right, OG, starting to piece something together here. Not to mention that unconfirmed damage still a problem for Device. Everybody from the offense still clumped up towards mid. They could round around short into the site. That would probably give them their best chance, as they would have to only take down 2. Device lining up utility, and Glaive, he decides to just dry peek into the sniper scope. That's not going to bode well for the T side whatsoever.
Well, they fall apart quite quickly. The timing shot from Montu and all the early damages proves to be just enough to send them back Astralis. They'll run out of time. No, I mean they could barrel into a site if they want to, but 10 seconds left, 2 players, no chance. In OG, I mean, okay, so like 2 rounds, we got 4 saved, then 4 saved, now 5 on a win as well.
Counter-terrorists win.
They're set up well to get back into the game with a round 1 there.
Excellent pull at the trigger while blind. Second one basically walks into him. No effort needed. OG on the board. Took them 5 rounds, but they got there. And I mean, what you're alluding to, the saved economy is so crucial. Montu sitting on 7,000 as he just goes to replenish his grenades.
After winning 1 round.
Yeah, that's nuts money.
Money nuts. I don't know why, it just sounded funny in my head. Had to get it out. I wonder if a high tempo round would, like, the same one they did earlier on, would actually cause problems for OG since they're not doing anything early.
Dupree about to walk into 2.
Let's see.
Oh, damn.
Needed
Looked like
that.
a shotgun.
Yeah.
Takes him down. Magisk, he's going to get blinded. Can't quite capitalize on punishing Alexei, who was just cheeky towards the corner. It's actually 2 players from the T is down to about half. Maybe they're just going to try to follow through with the utility and the push into the B site. Flashbang smoke comes down on the incendiary. They're still going to just try and trudge along through this. Zipix able to clear his... Oh, I was going to say a second, but he doesn't fire versus Valda. They're trying to exchange damage. Valda, trigger discipline, hasn't fired. It's NBK as he regains vision around the side of the smokes. Oh, Zipix with a double spam back the other way. And we're into the 2 versus 2. 7 health here for Zip. Looking for the ace. As NBK just encroaching closer along the CT spawn. This gives a little bit of time for Glaive to kind of suss out the coffin side. Still nobody on that portion of the bomb site. Oh, Zipix, he's on for the ace. 1 more kill is what he needs. But NBK, he stops it. And now Glaive, he's figured it out. Or he hasn't. Oh, he thought maybe. But he looked away, and that's what's going to cost him.
Oh. This was completely won, and then we see this happen. Oh my god, the spray transfer into the back of Emo after firing off at coffins. It's the entry plus a 2K spray down into the smoke. I was wondering, it felt like they were playing with fire standing behind the smoke, but you know, sometimes you're on CT side, you're getting the damage off on the T players, planting the bomb out at Forest Oranges or over at coffins. Man, that's yeah, it's a pretty crazy way to win a round here for Astralis. The 4K is all he needs. Zipix was definitely the star of that round.
Big time.
The hold otherwise looked good. MBK, it's like every time MBK has some like huge impactful play, it just, everything falls apart around him. Seems so unlucky this series so far. It's not like it's only been a couple of rounds. He's had a number of rounds where this has happened. He's done so much. Unfortunate.
Now we see mid offered over. Nothing to stop them on arch side either. This is a great call from the offense. But at the same time, OG start to gather the information on banana. And Magisk has to go gather that bomb. We've got smokes wrapping all around the A site, the CT's within it, obviously knowing that this could be compromised. Alexi's going to be tasked with holding on CT spawn, and there is no challenge there. In fact, Astralis, they're going to rock this boat back towards short. Issa and NBK inside of the pits. Let's see what they can deliver. They do have Alexi on that close rotate. Issa, oh man, he's just going to try to fight apartments, and it works. He gets one kill. NBK good for a second. Oh, almost a third. He finds the headshot, but not the frag that comes with it. Another 2v2 post plant. Device low HP, no grenades for the terrorists.
Oh, man.
But he could cut off Valda.
Oh, he's waiting for that, too. My goodness. Is this the perfect angle?
Ooh, he changes angle. And that's what's going to ultimately cost him. Magisk, he could have just seen the barrel. Montu's going to have to eventually walk out from library, loses his head immediately, but Magisk, I mean, he is very much locked into the corner. It's low HP for Valda. Magisk through the box. 5-round lead now. That is all they needed.
That's insane. That's such an insane 1v2. The play to kill the player inside of library was especially cool. How he hid just enough, bait that guy forward, came through, still standing on the box, so it was very unexpected that he'd still be up there if he was going to peek in this position, and here we see the second half of that. Montu gets played, and he finds a way out of the situation. Just as you said, it looked like he was very stuck, and still, he took that small risk and didn't even get punished. That is pretty nuts.
Hit him with the electric slide. And Valda, the electric sprint down Banana. Second player, though, on logs. Didn't anticipate Device, so that early man advantage disappears immediately, and NBK reappears as the second defender on B. This could actually bolden Alexi. He's going to stick to the corner. Oh, but he gets hard checked by Device, who now looks to go sprinting in, sees the grenade trajectory, just locks it down on NBK, and the B site has crumbled. OG have crumbled.
God damn. And they're just, it's like 1,000 ways to die right now, right? We're just new rounds, new situations that are just all going wrong, and huge individual plays from different Astralis members. Is the game versus Big on Inferno, they also forgot to clear out logs. They get punished. They got punished so hard by this flash from Searson and Xantares kill 2. And here's 2 different players, I think, but you know, we got the same outcome with Device getting control of things. The flash is bad, but even just getting Alexi B to turn displaces his aim a little bit, gives Device enough time to react. And even him on his 4-3 black bars resolution can see Alexi B tucked into the corner, flick over and kill him. Oh, this is tough. This is tough.
Do they even get to save? You know, again, we've kind of watched that economy just roll over round after round, but if they lose both these players in pit, things are looking dire. Oh no! Issa gets stomped on by Magisk. 7 rounds to 1.
Yikes. And I mean, they haven't been tested to the point that like you get to see the interesting stuff come out, right? They're just getting dismantled, all of these plays. I mean they were like in a good spot in like that B situation, and then Zipix damn near aces. That was, you know, a winning situation. Device 3K entry up B with a rotator through a smoke and bought a B control. That's just been, oh.
Oof.
Yeah. The hardest part with OG is like it's not that it's like they lose some games, but you can look at the game and actually look to rounds and be like, if you didn't make this easy mistake, you would have won the game in like multiple spots. But it's rarely like they got completely outplayed and then there was actually no chance, like they got outclassed. I've never seen that be the problem for OG so much as they just quite simply aren't coming through with the execution that's clean enough, or they just don't clean up enough with the mistakes and get punished. Of course, Astralis, best team in the world at punishing.
Nice slow squeeze coming out of Arch yet again. No bomb committed to this play as you see it now being picked up by Magisk towards spawn, and they're confident enough to attack the bomb site itself. Valda in the pit with the Deeg. Valda in the pit with the Deeg. Gets himself one clean headshot, but then Dupree answers the call. And of course, while Alexi has taken over the T-spawn, Bomb is already gone, not able to punish them from the back line. And, you know, again, minimizing mistakes is what I feel like Astralis have done in a lot of these rounds where they have the advantage and they know it.
Played it nice and calm, just what we expect.
This, to me, is like what Maniac had touched on right before we jumped from the analyst desk into the game.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, okay, they survived the challenge of OG on Dust 2. They broke through that second half. Now what we should get, theoretically, is Astralis just kind of, you know, speeding through OG. And right now, that's exactly what's happening.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I think we need OG back on land. That's what we need.
Issa on land. That's a whole new beast.
I mean, even Issa in like a, you know, a decent proximity would probably help it. Do you have his, what's the, what kind of ping is he working with? Is it that bad? Is he moved in somewhere, is he somewhere like close?
57.
57, okay. That's definitely not too bad.
You know, Device, for example, is at 42.
But of course, having him be that kind of emotional
yeah, that's
boon,
the big one.
as well as Alexi and like all of them in person. They're just, I mean, such an in-person team in that regard.
Go back to Blast London at the start of 2020. Like, go look, watch, you know, pay attention to our loading screens here, dude. Half the time it's Issa popping off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's tough.
If it's not him, it's someone on Navi. But, ooh, poor guy. We spoke of the devil, and he just got blasted away inside of the boiler room. This is a gun round, and OG do have a double man advantage. Turn back to single. Mantoot swinging from the ropes on balcony. Has actually managed to get himself into the hallway. But, you know, at some point or another, this bomb was thrown down onto Arch. NBK just ate a flashbang in its entirety.
The rotate into halls. This should be
cool move.
One that catches Mantu. I mean, Mantu should be able to catch him off guard with this. Shotgun up. Oh, one player at mid. He clears. Oh my God, he actually might get cleared in this position. He's running away. And Glaive. Oh my God, he baits him forward. That's a nice play from Mantu. You gotta love that. He couldn't find him, but knew they were close together. Made it seem like he was not scared of somebody close by. And then watched it.
And the first kill he got as well. I mean, this is the second once he'd already slipped into the apartment.
He should have been in pit at this point.
Yep.
But he was down there in boiler.
It's like, what?
It's well done for Mantu. Very well done.
The old bait and switch v Magisk, but the flick shot he lands down onto short, that was a clean one as well. So, you know, I think Astralis had lulled us into a point where we were just kind of assuming
I was dazed, yeah. Yep. But the OG era begins now.
You were dazed, I was confused. Let's see. 5 rounds left in this CT side. And I do think there is still this threat of the offense just busting OG's money a second time, getting double digits on this T side.
God, you're such a doomer.
Hey, man. But maybe Mantu's just going to be that one-man army, because he's hit a lot of these shots. However, Volda is dead. We've got a challenge over towards the B site. It's for that reason Mantu's going to go sprinting over. NBK with a Mag 7. One of the few that can make it sing. Clumped up is Astralis. Low HP for Glaive. And, you know, somewhat tagged up is Magisk and Device here. So it wouldn't be crazy to think OG can hold this off. But Mantu's going to walk right into the crosshair. Patience is perfect. And now they're about to lay down the pain. Alexi, poor guy, spam through smoke from Device. Not the first time Device has been such a nuisance over towards that B site. NBK's shotgun pops up. Dupree, he's pissed. And the bomb's still planted. Damn. So Astralis, they will secure a 9th.
I mean, they go for the re-aggression. It's just like perfect crosshair placement from Glaive. And he's on the left side of the wall as opposed to just over it. So maybe Mantu's not even aiming for that exact part. Just really nice kind of angle holds from him. And what's with all these high-buy power stickers? He has 4 on this.
It's nuts.
And Magisk has 4 on his red line.
Yep.
Is that new?
They've got to be.
It's unreal. How much money do you guys think these guys make?
I think they're maybe. I mean, someone's got to be pumping these skins to them.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. I don't think, like, the way that Mantu approached, he doesn't necessarily need to flash to make that play. Just really sick crosshair placement from Glaive. Maybe they could have flashed you know, and then had him come out, but I think he just got destroyed. And then Alexi falls off of oranges, and they hear his feet hit the ground, and this is when, oh, Device just starts spraying here right after he comes to. I'm not exactly sure if Alexi fell off by mistake or in what fashion or like how, but yeah. It's a number of times where the B defense has just fallen apart from both parties. There's never someone to make up for it. Oof.
Yeah, money's not good here for OG.
Oof. Ooh, the orange juice. It's all gone.
Water?
Wow, vodka. That's crazy. Yeah. That makes sense. Glaive? I get it.
All right, man. 7-round lead. They take the tack pause. They don't come in with a buy around it. A little curb purchase, you know, less than 2,000 spent by 3. It is a dire situation for OG CT side at the moment. But maybe they can do just enough. Maybe.
God, you're so optimistic.
Someone's got to be. Someone's got to predict OG.
Oh man. Yeah, this is definitely not what I expected. So much fight from them on Dust too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it just looks so hopeless so far.
Well,
I don't know how else to.
You know, don't forget it was a 10-5 half on Dust 2 as well.
Yeah.
Before we got that, you know, string of rounds from OG. The 9 rounds straight. Outside of that spree of victories, first half wasn't much to talk about. So, and unfortunately, of course, it's like we know the context of Astralis on Inferno. It's now their T side that's tearing things up as well.
Sure.
You know, and the only time these two teams have played against each other, which was like I think halfway through 2020.
A long time ago.
Yeah, more than a year ago. It was this situation. It was just T sides that tore OG to pieces, and you know, a little bit of fight in the second half, but ultimately what you'd expect. I think like a 16-8 and maybe like a 16-10, just kind of fizzled out.
Yeah.
So I think we're getting a callback to what is a clear gap in the expectations and skill levels of these two rosters. MBK shotgun in hand, good damage. 2 shots is what it's gonna take, and he had a chance at something further, but Device and Dupree combined for the entries. And while there is still damage here versus Astralis, man, they squeezed that one perfectly. Had that frag grenade found Device, he could have very well just died with no time to plant. The frag could have made a difference, but he goes for an unorthodox bomb plant spot, and therefore, no.
No. A ret.
It goes down. And so will OG. Now to the 8-round deficit.
Yeah. Of course, they'll invest fully next round, and we'll see what they can do to try to make something of this half. Could have made some money off that Mag 7, but yeah, there was no hope there. So another really easy round here from Astralis. They clean up, and then they get out quick out the back of halls. Did you ever watch Better Call Saul?
Yeah, a couple seasons.
Okay. Couple seasons?
Couple seasons.
I need to stop?
Yeah, I don't want to show on TV, you know?
Okay, fair enough.
I got Danger Zone to play.
True.
Why do you ask?
Can't remember at all.
Okay. Yo, Mr. White.
Wheel me betch.
I've done some digging. Zipix's gun is not covered in a bunch of iBuyPower hollows. That was a sticker bug.
No way.
Yeah, he just has a normal Asimov. But Magic's fresh AK. That is... Wow. Alas, a gun round.
That looked crazy. Okay. I mean, okay, Device's been hurt here, so they know he's here, okay. They kill him too. 5v4. That's good. That's a good start.
Yes.
Don't get killed from logs. Step 2. Been a problem for them. I'm sure they're not going to make a mistake of not clearing it properly. Yes, they definitely clear it this time around. Smoke goes down. They get some damage off on Magisk. Wow, even another kill.
Nice.
5v3. Okay. Cool.
OG on the comeback. Come on, finish strong. Get 5 rounds. Get 5 rounds. Remember, the loser of this game does get sent down to the Blast Spring Showdown, where they will have to run all the way back if they want to make it to the finals to qualify for our World Finals at the end of the year. You know, we're restarting the circuit here this week. We crowned Na'Vi as our champions just weeks ago for 2020. Of course, the Showdown, man, that's a cutthroat event.
Definitely.
Best of threes, elimination every step of the way, no second chances, and Issa's going to give no second chance for Astralis to get into this 13th round. He sees 2 players on short, mows them down, and he can smell Magis getting closer. Magis with a knife out should be his next victim, but he swaps just in time, and it's not going to make a difference. OG with 3 at least.
At least, yeah. I mean, fair play. That's just no other way to better describe that. And they got the damage off the molly, I think, for a device off the corner of the smoke. Spam finished him off, and yeah, remaining 3 to the nice rifle work of Issa. Timeout's going to be called. It's actually from Astralis here. Maybe to make sure that this lead is as big as possible, I suppose. I mean, I can't assume. I mean, things have moved slowly enough that I feel, and calmly enough that I feel like they probably got so much stuff that they could still fall back on. So I'm not exactly sure what the idea is, but maybe they've had a disagreement or confusion about what they wanted to get out of this round coming into it. But I'm sure that'll be ironed out quickly, and we'll move forward. And as for OG, I mean, it's really just about like. It's crazy how we get, like, they get the opening kill. It's like, wow, okay, that's like the best start they've had in a while. So, you know, let's kind of build brick by brick there, get the opening kill again, and then we can see if they can get something going. But Astralis, they're definitely going to convert the round if you give that up too easily. But they have a very fickle B defense, man. It just keeps falling apart.
Sometimes due to utility, sometimes due to smoke spam. OG gonna open up 5v4. I like it. MBK gets aggressive, punishes the alt peek. Looks like Magis wants to follow up. A little bit of presence towards Banana. Valdez tucked behind sandbags. If Alexi can draw him into this, that'd be one thing, but Alexi just smoked himself off, assuming Magis wouldn't clear it. And he does. Keeps his guard high.
I think he just, yeah, he smoked it off so that Magis would take his guard down, like allow Mantu to get the kill and then run through the smoke.
Yep. But Valdez stuck to the corner and just...
Yeah, Magis played it too carefully. It was just... There wasn't really anything else for Magis to do at that point, right? Besides clear that out slowly. So that's one way to equalize. I mean, it was a pretty fair fight, right? Valda could have definitely won that. He's been pretty good. But now what you have is a situation where we've got, you know, attention on A, 3 players here, 1 in the back of the site. Alexi got himself up onto quad.
Perfect. And he dodges the molly, but it doesn't do too much. He finds damage versus Zipix, but I mean, this is just going to be the tail of this 14th round, right? Like, we look at Magisk, 11 HP. That could have been Valda's kill. Zipix on 30. That could have been Alexi's kill. But coulda, shoulda, woulda. It is still going to be 11-3 unless they make this retake happen with the man disadvantage. They've got tons of cash and only 1 round left, so they might as well just try to throw this and hope it sticks. Molotov still left to potentially burn Device into the open. That's exactly where it's sent. Dupree tries to peek towards CT, and Device, well, he's forced off his initial position, but he's still successful in getting a kill. Dupree cuts down NBK. It's all on Mantu, and this op seems valuable to him. Oh, will he escape with it? Does he survive? No, sir. All members of OG die, and in their final and 15th round, they should still have enough cash for everything they need, so it's really not a problem.
Another round. They get the 5v4, but then 2 players die on B. No refrags here. And here's it's just such a dry duel. There's no supporting anything. It's just this one gimmick of, like, let me throw the smoke down and pretend like I'm leaving, but again, like, it's all too easy. Magis turns the corner, just keeps his guard up slightly, and then wins. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Alexi can't get a kill on the hold. No rotations over. No peeking mid to make sure there's no one there, so you can maybe cheat someone over. No gambling. No tactics. No hope.
No hope. Damn, man, that's bleak.
And sometimes it is definitely hard to...
Oh, what?
Whoa, oh, shoot.
We gotta see that one. Luckily for OG, Valda will find that quick answer. But, I mean, off of the mid pick, they're definitely gonna transition some pressure into the A site. Of course, OG rotating ahead of time, bomb back. Astralis can just sit and wait. And they will do that.
Yeah, they could. I feel like, you know, from what Astralis have seen, basically, they come late back to B. It's pretty much always open for them to try it. Did he did see someone? No, I guess not.
Timing. Just looked away.
But they're expecting some rotation here. And Alexi keeping eyes on mid with a player right behind him.
Oh, almost found Magis with his head turned.
Forward, expecting it to be a kind of a B play, I guess. And MBK, will he survive? He does.
But now it's all about Issa. He's going to find the player falling into pit, and the second. Issa delivering when he needs to. Dupree in the 1v3 takes a ton of damage from NBK, but remember, Issa, he's also tagged up. If Dupree gets the better of him, then it's a heads up 1v1, but Issa, big moment from him. 3 kills inside of the A site to give OG a fourth, to give them a lifeline. But let's be real, they're treading water, and it's starting to get over their head. When it comes to the budget CT rifle, I've got 2 FAMAs, or FAMI.
I think my graphic card's a little bit burning from that, the colors.
Roll cage and the sticks.
I think I have this one.
Roll cage definitely takes the cake.
I'll go with the sticks. It has skulls on it. It has something special at least.
So I would go for the roll cage.
Oh yeah, well, there we have it. I mean, obviously I will go with the sticks here. Fits really nice, and like the skulls is really cool as well.
I think roll cage is the one that I'm actually using.
These look actually fully the same on my monitor settings here.
Those look really similar.
Yeah, it's kind of whichever. I guess the after image.
So I would go for the Prime Conspiracy.
One of the oldest FAMAS skins in the game's the after image. I gotta pick it just for the nostalgia.
Prime Conspiracy, mainly because it has a little bit more light blue than the other one.
I will go with the Prime Conspiracy. I haven't actually seen anyone use it. I mean, it's better than the after image, so I would choose the Prime Conspiracy.
Yeah, I would go for the Mecha Industries. It looks a little bit like the Asimov.
That classic white base, Mecha Industries, any day of the week.
We have this rule in Astralis that we don't play with white skins. Obviously, that will rule out the Mecha Industries. So Pulse, here we go, even though you're damn ugly.
I think Pulse is more alive as a skin. No joke intended with Pulse, I just thought about it.
I will go with the Mecha Industry here, like the white color. The white and black fits really well.
Never seen these skins.
Valence and the neutral net. The Valence is pretty nice, has some cool car themes, so that's the one I'm gonna go with.
I like the neural net one, a little bit punchy.
A tough one. Both kind of ugly. I guess we'll give our vote to the Valence.
The neural net is just really ugly in my opinion, so I'll go with the Valence here. But yeah, I mean, red and black, like both my favorite colors, so I'll go with the Valence.
Yeah, here I guess Valence all day long. I think neural net looks odd. Yellow is also a weird color for skins, like it stands out so much. It's like, hey, I'm here.
I like the dark water because it's also an old skin, right?
The Jin, underrated. Got that gold trim that's worth its weight.
Those are similar too.
Yeah, I go with the Jin. It just looks more stylish.
Can I pick neither? Okay. I think the dark water is malfunctioning, so I'm gonna go with the Jin.
I'll go with the Jin here. It almost looks like a tattoo, and I like tattoos.
That all gold FAMAS commemoration, hands down one of the best.
The golden skin is pretty damn badass. That's actually pretty nice. So the golden commemoration.
Commemoration skin looks like it's out of Warhammer 40k.
So I think I'll go with the commemoration here.
Commemoration, nice, yeah.
A tough first half for OG, a difficult pill to swallow as they're already one map down. They once upon a time had that 14-10 lead on Dust too, but now Mohan, they're not even really in the game.
The only thing that, you know, has me optimistic at all is like at the very end of the half, we look at the player comms, they were like laughing about something. They at least pulled together a round. I'm not sure how they maybe perceived that first half. Of course, it looked very flat from our perspective and very clinical for Astralis, but now that we switch, I guess, you know, we can maybe see a new face here from OG again, surviving a 10-5 half in map number 1 to bring it to overtime, showing some resilience. Well, at least buy some votes of confidence potentially, but it's not like Astralis' CT side will be any easier.
Right. If anything, you know, again, we recall that pistol stat, not the best of rounds for Astralis as of late. Maybe that's what OG can use to gain some early momentum and you know, again, kind of kick off a second half with a bit of a comeback. They did it on Dust 2. They could do it here on Inferno. It's just an uphill battle, no matter how you look at this.
Got the bait in the B site, and they're defending against the B split. They see the bomb, I believe, on radar, even though that player was just tucked in the half wall. The second flash to come out, and they know that there are 3 now. I don't know. The close guy, he'll show face, but he eats the flash as well. So it's a bit of a stalemate. Not really sure how this information is going, but look, the T's are now starting to work their way up towards halls, which, hey, that might be the weaker part of the A side at least. Arch will also get smoked out, cause maybe a rotation around to the other side. We'll see.
Wow, Dupree is not going to respect
Oh my God,
it.
he literally just
walks right through. And then, of course, I was going to say, Magisk, you know, doesn't have vision. Neither do the players out library, so there was very much a chance for OG to be in a better position than this, but still a bomb plant and a 3v3. They've been in worse spots this series. Very quiet post plant for the time being. Of course, 2 members of Astralis creeping their way through middle. Valda inside of the apartments picks up the man advantage. That's important for him. Device now trying to get onto the bomb site, but he's been flanked as well from Boiler. It's going to have to be Magisk, and there's nothing in the 3v3 for Astralis. OG, their 5th round on the scoreboard. Let's see if they can run with momentum.
amazing round there from Valda. The kill through the smoke on the archway, as well as the 2 in the post-plant situation. Those were all really well done and all very, very important. This punish as well was nice. The refrag, maybe even nicer, but worth less, of course, as it's OG who win the round. So, well, now we'll see if we just get the conversions going, and then, of course, we can just talk about the half from the perspective of it just being 11-7 as opposed to, you know, it starting out 11-4. Force up, though, from Astralis to get through first.
Ooh, ouch. MPK gets softened up and then smacked by that Eagle.
Well, they get stopped as well. They were going to commit pretty hard to this, but the smokes go down on this B attack. That'll rock them. Now they're going to be scared of a push elsewhere.
It's not just the pistol round wins that are in question, but also the success rate of force buys after losing pistol have been kind of weak for the Danes, and right now it's a 5v4, so looking to put that stat upside down.
Got a similar stack to their pistol round setup. Just a focus on defending against mid to B splits.
OG, they've got nowhere to run, so they have to go inwards. Met by additional utility, smoke, incendiary, Zipix on a Deagle. Trying to catch one as he creeps through the smoke grenade. Glaive just behind first boxes. Damn, that's damage done. Valda, he could die to this frag grenade. Device. Ooh, ducks him. Double nade kill. And then Device swings out with the CZ. It's on Alexi, 1v3, and a couple players by coffins, but Dupree's putting him in it, and Astralis force by win.
It's a 10-second stick with plenty of time to spare. An incredible nade there from inside CT spawn. The re-exec looked good. They actually got together, pushed up, and got across kind of this dangerous line into the site to the point of planting the bomb, but all the utility was focused on stopping the B attack, and Astralis even held some for the last second. They didn't drop that nade early, didn't overreact, had 2 smokes, didn't use them back to back. They really made this a tough situation for OG all the way through on a budget.
Damn, man. Hits him in the forehead, floats in the air for just a moment. Their lives flash before their eyes.
Yeah, and that is, as you mentioned, one of the rare situations. They haven't been doing a good job of, even when they lose the pistol, at least, you know, converting every once in a while. They haven't been doing that very much.
Yet here we are now with OG playing off of Double Deagle's Tech 9 Mac 10 Galil. It's not a pretty sight. Especially not at the 12-5. CT's happy to peek down Banana. Device with a grenade in hand, as if he's gonna do it back to back. But this time when he throws it, it's negligible. Counter utility out from OG, showing presence on the A site, where of course Astralis have 3 stacked. Magisk, AK in hand, ready to go. Mac-10 flies into the bomb site, Galil from the corner. Then it's Device answering. CZ needs to be built, and he still puts it together in time. NBK, 1 versus 3. But he can only get 1.
The AUG is just a bit too strong. They power up and stop it, and that's the attack. Looks a little scary for a second, but they let Device build the CZ in the corner, and he not only gets this first and second kill, but a little bit extra damage and just enough respect and time to put together his sidearm. So it's 13-5 here. And yeah, while it gets scared, it's not even a bomb plant out of that one. So it keeps the money at bay. Potentially another round here just to collect for Astralis. There's been nothing but taxation here on OG.
Oh, thanks for the Zeus, bro.
The Zeus delivery.
And then money made Magisk. Oh, it hurts.
At least it's quick.
Ooh.
That's nice. Crosshair placement there.
Another one. This man's got a smoke for T-spawn.
Are you kidding me? Welcome to invite.
Yeah, and there it is. Dupree with the final nail in the coffin.
Did he actually line up a smoke like over the wall from mid and T-spawn? He had the Italian hands going on there.
Hey, shooting from T-spawn. Device, throw that smoke, you know.
Oh, man. Okay. Last chance saloon. No op here. Maybe they weren't even looking for it, but everyone buys to 0. Nades come cascading across the half wall into the bottom of B. No one here to challenge from OG's side. Still on the outside of the bottom smoke. Grouping up outside halls. But silent boost into the window room. Someone listening, but no one challenging. Man, there's still a lot of Astralis members here, so this could be a good punish here from OG.
Yep, this could be the one. I mean, they just need those clean, swift kills. Magisk, singular. Oh, and then there's Valda.
Clapped.
Perfect wrap around the arches. Dupree's posted on the angle, and that's not going to stop Valda from getting his second. Already turning attention back towards mid. Good stuff from OG. Getting up close on A, feeling no resistance in terms of any apartment presence or alt peek, and then just following through with what they wanted, Mohan. That A site, it had some sort of a defense from Magisk, but one and done. He goes down. OG take their 6th.
Yeah, they definitely don't always play that default game and like map control here, map control there. They're willing to go into executes and have a lot of different speeds at which they execute. So, you know, they're bound to catch teams off guard every once in a while. Of course, just such a big round disparity means it'll just take so much ingenuity to be able to pull something like this off every time. Eventually, they'll have to run into something more default-y, and things will become difficult. But at least this is nice. They show they can win around on A. They have a good call. And there have been some good reads on the setups and which sites might be weaker. But let's see if it's just a drop in the bucket or not. They can try to put together 2 now. They save the 4 rifles, so they hang on to some of the money. 14-6 is the score line. But OG are fighting against elimination here in the group and fighting against having to go play in the showdown. Historically done well. I say historically, pretty much, you know, had their inaugural match at the first Blast Spring groups in 2020. One other land like right before that, I believe.
MBK getting closer. Device. It's going to be peaked from both sides. Issa catching the headshot, but that 2-man setup close to middle transitions really quickly into Boiler. And they get 2 kills off of the back of that. Now it's a man advantage for the defense.
Damn, that was actually a crazy way to approach the halls.
Right? Coming at it from Boiler.
That was cool. That was just a lane setup that transposed into a hall setup, right?
Yep. Oh. Transformative defense. Wow. Dupree. Oh, he sees him. Alexi tries to walk beyond the smoke. That's going to cost him his life. Now a double man advantage. Mantu behind the hay bales.
They're still a bit concerned about A. Or sorry, B, I should say. And yeah, that lets Mound to get at least 1 kill here. They know one's pit.
Yep.
They've got a crunch coming onto Dupree, and but he's out in the open, but he's fine with it. Oh man, and Xyp9x gets the kill on the site. What on earth caused him to jump out of pit? I don't know, but it was the right play.
Yeah, maybe just trying to get that 1 kill on the short player, wanted to stop the bomb. I don't think in any world did he anticipate the guy in graveyard.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, he jumps up. Oh, hey there. Drops him as, of course, the man on site gets killed. 15-6, 9 map and match points. The showdown looms for OG. The Astralis, they have survived, looking to fight back from an opening loss versus NiP. A 2-0 loss.
That rematch, potentially.
Versus the new NiP.
Would be insane. Definitely in fighting form. Okay, what do OG want to do? What could be the last round of the game? Potentially. They're going to save this off with just the Tech-9 on Mantu. They've got a lot of utility to go with, and we've seen their pocket strats already. They're doing something similar. It's a bust up towards lane, and they get doubled down by Device.
Of course, that's how he looks to end this. Collateral shot on short side. There is a peek coming in from Arch, though. That could be big, because he could cut off these rotators before they even know what hit them. Inside of Library, huge fight. Xyp9x versus Valda, close up, face to face. Valda gonna get peeked by Arch instead. Device inside of the A site somehow picks that up, and now it's all on Mantu. Device has done everything here in the 22nd round, picks up 3 kills on the A hold, and it is Astralis in convincing fashion. That's what we need to see out of them. If they're gonna have a return inside of this opening group, then they needed a convincing map win, because they lost 0-2 versus the new Ninjas. They almost lost to a killer comeback from OG here on Dust 2.
Yeah.
But they showed perseverance and then the ability to just clamp down on a map that they should always have in their back pocket. Astralis on Inferno, too much for OG.
Yeah, at least the story, at least from Astralis' perspective, is a little bit more optimistic.